you think that God is going to make an enemy that he can't whoop?
What a blessed day we have today, brothers and sisters. For God's land is in our midst today. You got to be happy today.
Yeah. It's like we live our whole lives with a backup plan. We teach our kids to have something to fall back on. But the harsh reality of the whole situation is you got more confidence in plan B than you do in plan A. Because if you didn't, there would be no such thing as a plan B. That's why I believe that plan A is what we want to do. Plan B is what we destined to do. Hey, look, I ain't got a problem with none of y'all niggas. It's just me and my conglomerate. Grinding hard deposit checks, bank account positive. The same as my mind frame, diamond gleaming opulence. Pocket screaming confidence. I know I'm the shit. It's better when I see you hate, cause that's my motivation. Please respect my conversation. Every statement come with payments. The money spoken fluently. The topic's never you and me if we talking congruency. The home is usually until they can't beat you, then the diss becomes sneaky and the peach ain't all creamy. I'm just trying to be a beacon of light in my own way. You beefing, but I'm vegan, looking like you in your own way. Homie, I'm a grown man. I put away childish things. I'm really waking up the host you seen in your wildest dreams. Sing with a common theme. Be yourself, stay humble. Me and work, haters mumble. You don't like it, take a number. Fuck them, cause best believe they feel the same way. The shoe was on the other foot, then you will feel the same pain. Karma, that's my main thing. She fucks me in a circle, spent your life being Stefan, but she really wanted Earth. But this the last track, but I don't want the last laugh. You'll listen for a week or two, you'll see me give me mad depths. Hit me for a feature, but you never got no damn cash. You just wanna know my rating. Say you hit me right back, asking me who did the beat. I told you it's a nice track. You want me bridge the gap, cause he don't fuck with niggas like that. Nah, he don't fuck with niggas like you. Give your ass a classic, ain't no telling what you might do. Write some shit about some dope you never sold and dilute the essence of the music, talking blue rags and Pyru. Nah, this ain't a beat, this is production. You the jury, this is Trayvon, you wouldn't do him justice. Hot dogs with no mustard. This music is a feeling, ain't no gimmicks when I'm banking on this shit to feed my chillin'. Brooklyn, Asia, and Kendall. I pray somebody listening that can get that boy a shot, cause I swear this shit is different. Plan B. Plan B.
Plan B.
Plan B.
In the day of judgment, as a man soweth, so shall he reap.
All right, let me in here. Peace, and blessings, and what is up, family? Man, it's been a long time, boy. It's been a long time, but listen, I'm glad we back. I am happy we back. Listen, y'all, this is Rich Rhetoric, man. I am your host and your boy, Born Rich. Thank y'all for tuning in. As you come in, hit the like button, share button, subscribe button. Man, what did I just do? I just did something weird. Hold on. Let me drop this in the comments, man. So I'm gonna put the link. That's the homeboy B Howard with the intro music. You know, good shit. But yeah, and I already put the link in there. I guess I better go and pin it eventually. But furthermore, I mean, I know y'all heard the news right now. Dear brother Kevin Samuels passed away. Yeah, we lost one of them, man. We lost a person who was a brilliant man as far as marketing, a black man that marketed himself right, had good content, a good content creator, got a lot of conversations started. If I'm honest, I would listen to a little bit of his show and bring some of those conversations over here from time to time. So if you go back through the archives of this YouTube channel, you'll see that we used to approach some of these conversations. But yeah, he died. They said it's like cardiac arrest, heart attack, something like that, something with his heart. So, peace, prayers, to his family. They're dealing with it. And that's just really been the talk. That has been the talk for the last 2 days, pretty much. It was the talk yesterday on social media a lot. A lot of people addressed it today. But what I want to get to today, family, is the celebration, right? That's what was kind of concerning to me. All right. It was concerning that when people heard the news that our brother Kevin Samuels had passed, then it was a lot of people, men and women, that were celebrating the death of this man, which begs the question, is it ever appropriate to celebrate someone's death? That's something that has to be asked, which is a question that I had to ask myself, right? I guess how some people would say, I don't wish that shit on my worst enemies. It's kind of like in that vein, right? It's like you have to ask yourself, if you're somebody that you didn't like or didn't care for, if they died and passed away, right? Then how would you how would you feel? Would you celebrate? Would you celebrate? And it was I wouldn't say I've celebrated somebody's death, but I have asked the question. I guess you get, you know what I mean? It's like you get what you kind of deserve. You see what I'm saying? I even did a show on here not too long ago about the Nigerian brother, right? It was the Nigerian brother who got stabbed by his white girlfriend. And I even came to this channel and was asking the panel members the question. It's like, how do we feel? Because if I go back to the Nigerian brother, he was saying, yeah, I don't really like black women. I think he was in America. He's like, I don't really like black women. These black women are so ghetto. They're so loud. I don't like black women at all. My taste is for white women, and I only mess with white women. And then the white woman stabbed him to death. And some people even on that night came and was like, yeah, we get them out of here, fuck them. And I was just like, I didn't have too much really to say about it, but I wasn't celebrating. Drop Top said Twitter been wild, hella bombs talking on a black man's death. I thought it was a drill video comments. I know, man, it was just crazy, right? Drop Top. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, the internet is always gonna be funny, because I seen somebody said you have to be a sick person to be celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels, and everybody was in his comment showing pictures of sick people, saying I must be that sick person that you're talking about. So I thought that was kind of funny. What's going on with you, Robbie? How you doing, brother? Okay, well, while Robbie gets, shout out to Robbie, man, and shout out to everybody who been hitting me up, asking me, is everything okay? Why I haven't been live? Nah, man, I was chilling for a minute, and really see my daughter. Like, if you watch the channel, you're familiar with my daughter Maggie. So my Maggie is playing travel basketball, and that shit is first and foremost expensive, and second, time consuming. It's time consuming. It's practice 3, sometimes 4 days a week, and then basketball tournaments sometimes on Friday through Sunday, but mostly
Hey,
Saturday.
my fault, bro.
What's up, Robbie?
Yeah, not much, man. I was just getting my stuff situated here. I'm chiming in to the topic and listening to what you're saying.
Yeah,
And we miss you going live. I
yeah,
don't know
man.
whether some of the usual listeners are, like, if people want to come on the panel. But yeah, I just think as far as your own dignity and self-respect, um it's sometimes it's classy, you know what I'm saying, to just kind of reserve some of your judgment when
Yeah.
somebody passes away. That don't mean you got to like their content or like what they stood for.
Hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, the yays are going to always beat out the nays.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you do, there are going to be people who don't like what you do. But Kevin Samuels was an image consultant, right? So
Yeah.
I think God took what he did in the private sector, allowed him to have a platform and hold a mirror up to the black community and to the men and women dynamic period in the Western culture. And I think that it had some healthy benefits in I don't think it's by coincidence that Roe v. Wade, the whole situation came up. Then you have Kevin Samuel pass away, and then you have Mother's Day coming up. So everything has to do with childbirth, family, and
Yeah,
women. You know what I mean? In an esoterical
yeah.
sense. So I sometimes when stuff like that happen, because I had just finished seeing Doctor Strange, I get out and I found out he passed away. And I remember there was rumors saying that he was going to play Dr. Reed in Doctor Strange. People were saying that a couple of years ago, like that he had gotten a casting. I don't know how true that was, or he went for a casting. But the moral of the story is, you know, I think his impact at the end of the day will be positive. Why? Because you've heard me say it on this platform before. The Black community needs an image overhaul. I think the American family structure needs an image overhaul as well. I think things have just went too far out of balance. So there's nothing wrong with being a free spirit or being independent, but you also shouldn't drown out the voices of people who want traditional marriage, want to have, families that work, or want to
Yeah.
balance out uh just the dynamic being more healthy, you know what I mean, between men and women. So sometimes you got to talk about the ugly stuff.
Absolutely. And I think brother Kevin was real big on accountability. Accountability and realism. You see what I'm saying? For both men and women. You know what I mean? And I heard Kevin Samuel say this before, which made me go check it out, right? He's only really been addressing women the last year and a half, 2 years. The first 3 years when he was on YouTube, when he was a nobody, he was strictly talking to men, about men, calling men out on their bullshit. So he was about having more realistic goals. You see what I'm saying? And me, I agree with that. Now, I'm not saying don't try to achieve higher, but you can't be delusional at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I heard women like call his phone and say, yeah, I'm overweight. So what? I'm not gonna do anything about it, but I'm still going to get one of the top 10% in men. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to put some type of work in. You see what I'm saying? And on the flip side, I've heard men call into his show saying, "Look, I make $40,000 a year, and my target is a girl like Rihanna." And he's like, "Come on, bro. Like, let's be realistic. Like, you know what I'm saying?" So that was something that I enjoyed about it.
Yeah, and the comical thing about it is, they used to call it gold fever back in the day when people would rush to the West Coast in search of their fortune,
Mhm.
or in colloquial terms with women and men, we'll say gold digger, gigolo. I think what happens is people become so delusional. If you notice, love is not even in the equation. They talk about what they want, and they put a financial stamp on what it is that they want, and that's where the delusion comes in. So they're not even in love with the man. They haven't even met the man yet. They don't even know what the man looked like. But they already know what his money should look like. You know what I mean? Or men could not know what the woman looked like, but they already know, what I'm saying, what her financial status or clout should be, and to add to whatever they got. And then they expect her to put up with, what I'm saying, them being a basic performer. But that's my whole point, what I've always said. Sometimes we got to celebrate normal. You got to be happy along the journey. That doesn't mean you can't ever become rich.
He was saying that. He was saying that. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the brother Kevin, because I've heard him say that on occasion. He was like, yes, yes. He told one lady, yes, ma'am, you're average. You deserve an average man. And the women would get offended. And like Robbie is saying, listen, guys, there's nothing wrong with average. My parents were average. If you start looking at finances and I guess sexual market value, my parents was average as shit. My parents didn't ball out of control. They didn't make hundreds of $1,000s a year. That was average. But they made it work. They made this
So
shit
my
work.
question is, at what point in human evolution or economic understanding and desire did things get distorted? Because I think these things even got distorted a little bit before social media. I think at some point there just became this wave of everybody just thinking that, you know what, I'm gonna get rich quick, or I'm gonna finesse the next person to get what I want because I'm cute, I'm beautiful, or I just know I'm that, I'm just that dude. I'm just that dude. I got it like that.
Yes, but you know, Robbie, if you're around my age, we kind of grew up in the bling bling. era. That distorted a lot of shit, boy. The big rims, big cars, big jewelry. You know what I mean? That distorted a lot of people. So you got to think, bro. If that was in the fucking late 90s, early 2000s, we look up. It's 2022, bro. I can't even imagine what it is now. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I listen to my 12-year-old daughter talk, and I'm just like, oh yeah, shit is different out here now. Like,
You
you're
know
gonna
what it is? When you see wealth, but you don't see the work people put behind to obtain it, it makes people think that there's a microwave secret. And then sometimes what people don't understand, like there's a movie that I think people should check out called The Joneses. And it's an older movie, but it has a powerful story in the sense that there's this family that works for a corporation. They're not even a real family, they're actors, and they move into neighborhoods, they buy products, they show off things to try to get everybody around them to copy them and spend more money, right? And one
right.
dude ends up committing suicide because he couldn't compete.
Yeah,
So when Stanley asked in the comment section, define normal, I say for everyone, normal is different, but we can look at salaries and determine what averages are.
exactly.
So
Average.
when you were talking about average, that's what I would consider, normal, or basically meaning a part of the norm in terms of likability and probability of what you'll probably earn in a lifetime. That's what I mean. And as far as being satisfied, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be too biblical, but this is a scripture I've learned to stand on. Godliness with contentment is great gain. And you have to learn how to be content, because you'll have people around you who will try to pull you out of contentment. They'll tell you, man, you need to invest all your money in crypto. Man, you know what? You need to flip your house. Man, you need to get a new car. You got one business, they'll tell you you need to open 2 or 3 locations, when you may say, man, I got a goal to do that over the next 10 years. But this person's trying to tell me they'll give me some money overnight and I'm going to double and triple profits. The old saying says, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. If there's a woman that's just beautiful and she's in her 30s and she's got no kids and she's what I mean, just seems perfect, then it's probably too good to be true, man. Everybody's got baggage. Everybody's got a reason why they're single, whether that's self-imposed or just, you know what I mean? The dating populace has said, you know what? She's Holly Berry crazy. You know what I mean? Holly Berry beautiful, Holly Berry crazy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yep,
So
yep.
everything is for a reason, man.
Yep. And Stanley, I know, so you're saying personal, yeah, but when we was speaking normal and average, we was really speaking about income, right? So it says the American black men broken down by age group. 16 to 24-year-olds, $606 weekly, which is 31,500 a year. 25 to 54, which majority of the people who's tuned in right now are probably gonna fall in here, and it's 44,000, almost like 45,000 a year. And yeah, that's
And
about like what my
Rich,
pops.
let's keep
That
in
sounds
mind,
like in my life. That sounds like about what my
but
pops was
but
bringing
but
in
but,
a
but
year.
let's keep in mind something that they're not showing probably. Are they deducting taxes after they talk about that weekly salary? Because somebody might make $639 weekly, and then after taxes they're bringing in $100 less. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
maybe more
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when I was saying, like, when I said my parents were average, this is about the salary that I grew up on. This is about what my pops. If we was talking about black men, this is about what my pops brought home about maybe about $800 a week. I think I looked at, I may have peeked at one or two of his check stubs growing up.
You
You
know
know what
what?
I
You
mean?
made it. And your mama was
Exactly.
happy.
I didn't,
And
yeah, I
that's the
was
key
poor.
thing.
I
You
wasn't
want
poor.
somebody to be happy with what you provide, because you can only do what you enjoy doing. Look, if your pops enjoyed doing what he was doing for a living, but then he made more money doing something where he became a slave, he had no opinion, he felt demeaned, he felt trapped, he always felt like he owed. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's easy to be down, but it's hard to go up and then fall. Not everybody has the mental capacity to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that's why some people go hit the lottery and become a millionaire overnight. Then they're depressed every year that their money disappears, and they forget, nigga, you used to work at Walmart and barely made $600 a month or 1,000, but now you're depressed because you had 1 million and your bank account has a 500,000. Literally, there's people that will kill themselves over that.
Oh,
He be like,
I know. I already know. I know the stress it causes, boy. I know the stress that it causes. And the thing that Kevin did make me realize, because I would watch his shows and women would call in and tell you straight up, Why should I have to settle for a man that's making $45,000 a year? And then when you start going through their credentials, the only thing they had to offer was a little bit more money annually. You see what I'm saying?
Well, those must have been the better people he interviewed, because some of the ones I heard him critiquing and wanting those standards, they weren't even working, or they had several kids, or they weren't. You know what I'm saying? They
No,
weren't a
yeah,
good
but
deal.
you know what? Robin, and those are some of the women that I talk to, like, personally in my life. You see what I'm saying? That they'll some of the sisters that I talk to personally in my life, not really making a lot of money, just average wage, average looks, average weight, and they just like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait and get me the top notch CEO of this big time company, and it's like, oh fuck. Well, baby girl, what's plan B? You know what I mean? Like, is plan B just stay single forever? So if Plumber Joe takes you out on a date, y'all vibe, you saying you're never gonna have anything serious with Plumber Joe because he's Plumber Joe. You see what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that our brother Kevin used to point out. Now Stanley, what's up, Stanley? What's up, brother? Long time, Stanley.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing well, brother. What's that on your avatar? A military
Um,
outfit?
yeah, I had to do it. Sorry.
You had to stun on him. You had to stun on him one time, Stanley. I like
Yeah.
that, brother. I like that, brother. Did you have something on your mind, a question you want to ask us?
No questions. Just wanted to participate
All
because I don't know. I think both of you are right. I don't really have. Um, I don't know. Maybe just being older and going through some stuff.
right.
Um, and I'll talk someday about. I just think that I honestly think that. Oh no, this is going to sound rather philosophical, but I think people, men, women, should meet, each other where they are. And, it just seems to me that now I'm going to get my butt kicked. I just think people, you have to be who you are to make a marriage work, a relationship work. You have to be who you are. And I sometimes I just don't get the impression that people have expectations. They have, like material goals and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, even after years of, hey, we've achieved like, all these salaries, all these cars, the house, everything. You have to meet who you are, where you are. And to me, it's a lot more personal than, monetary stuff. It's important, but sometimes I don't think people are actually honest with who they are, etc. I'm sure I'm blathering on, but are people really honest
Yeah, it's a
about their expectations of each other, etc.?
Sometimes I think a lot of people aren't. I don't think people are honest about their expectations, and expectations when it comes to relationships a lot of times aren't based in reality. Another thing, Robbie, you was asking, when did it switch? Social media and TV, very influential, especially now. Like, I know a lot of girls who, especially when Love and Hip Hop was new, they would watch shows like Love and Hip Hop and Love and Basketball, and look at those girls and how they're living and all the fancy fly shit they're wearing and buying and driving, the big houses they're living in. And now they start to kind of look at their significant other a little funny. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with social media, Robbie. You get on Instagram and you seeing all these happy couples hugged up and kissing and in nice cars and big houses with families. And then you start to, if you have a significant other, you start to look at them like, why is he or why is she not like these people on the internet? And if you're single, then you can say, I don't want a man or I don't want a woman if my shit can't be like this. We even got the quote, relationship goals.
Well, look, I've always said this. If I'm really having a good time and I'm going out or I'm at home,
Mhm.
I feel like I don't need to share that with my whole
Facts.
family. And when I think about like family lineage, sometimes if I do like an ancestry thing, I can't even find pictures of family members that they say were there, right? Or you have to do some digging. So I think cameras were less involved in day-to-day living and people focused more on living. Now everything's staged. So I'm understanding now that when you see certain things on in media in general, it's planned. There's a message. There's a reason why people are putting things out. Now they're either selling you a lifestyle or they're trying to sell you a product. Usually 9 times out of 10, they're going through all that trouble to sell you a product. You know what I mean, or get you to buy in some type of belief. But sometimes it's just clout chasing, and unfortunately, people believe the hype and they'll put themselves in debt, like I say, to try to live up to something that's not even real.
Describe social media to a T. That's not being themselves and who they are and what you can do and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is a
What gets me though is the maturity level of people that are, say, our age or older that fall into it. I can understand, young people
yeah.
not necessarily having enough life experience because that's what keeps the whole thing going. Everybody follows the consumption train. If you see somebody buy a new car, a lady sees somebody buy a new purse, there's a new pair of shoes coming out, or there's some type of social movement or something
Yeah,
that
but
goes viral. People,
Rob, who level sets the young people? Their parents, hopefully, or older people, wiser people.
Yeah, but the question is, who wants to listen to them?
Well,
We're
that
getting
that's
to the point
part of
now. Yeah,
that's part of growing up as a kid too.
yeah, we're getting to the point. Like I'm going through it, y'all. My son is 19 right now. You think my son is trying to hear the shit I'm trying to tell him
look,
about? But I'm
you know
breaking
when you
it.
listen, when you have life experience, and then you remember everything your parents say. Because I know
Facts, Robbie.
sometimes at 30, I'm like, damn,
Facts, Robbie.
I remember my dad saying that, or now I understand why my dad did that, or boom, I get 40 something, and I'm like, man. You know what I mean?
Facts,
I
Robbie.
appreciate my parents the older I get,
That's a
and
fact, Robbie.
especially when I didn't hear them complain, because I know sometimes I know my dad had to feel like quitting. Sometimes I know my dad had to feel unappreciated. Sometimes my dad probably felt like he needed to make more or wish he could have done more. But in the end, he did the best that he had with what he had to work with. And luckily enough for us, we just knew not to apply too much pressure. But even when people don't try to apply pressure, if you care about your family or care about people around you, you're going to feel pressure. So society is always going to put some type of pressure on you to make you feel like you need to do better.
Well, oddly enough, your point is well taken, but not everyone is as lucky as we three are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And
And
that's by design.
sometimes, and we got to think it is still children and kids out here that will listen to their parents their entire life. You see what I'm saying? I took maybe like a 10-year break to where my parents couldn't really tell me shit. You know what I mean? From 16 to 26, I wasn't trying to hear shit my parents was talking about. But then at 26, I had my second child, and then I just I started leaning on my parents more, not leaning on them financially, but for advice. You know what I'm saying? Life did a complete 360. You know what I'm saying? I listened to my parents. I went to my parents for advice from since I was born till I was 15, 16. And then I stopped. I stopped taking advice from them. I wasn't asking for advice. And then once I hit about 26, I went back around and then I got that wisdom and I could really appreciate that wisdom that I got from my parents once I got
Well,
older.
you said something rather important too. You didn't go to social media. Now,
But it
maybe
wasn't around though, Stanley. You see what I'm saying, Stanley? I'm at
you're
that
not
age where,
that old.
well, but I'm at the age where I didn't grow up with it though,
Well,
Stanley.
I got something for both of you guys to consider, and this is not conspiratorial. It's just me reflecting. Look, we're guys of above average intelligence and average intelligence, and we can see the toxic side of social media and some of the mechanisms of society, and we can even reflect on the healthy foundation we had. Now, with that being said, all of this dysfunction that we see that divides families, that teaches children to not listen to their parents, that gives people bad advice so they can mess up their credit and mess up their life and put themselves in a position where they're like indebted for the rest of their life with having children prematurely, with not going to college or getting student loan debt. I'm starting to think, or I'm starting to confirm my thoughts that all this is done deliberately. Like they don't want to fix social issues. That's why they're going to encourage social media. That's why they're going to encourage consumerism. That's why they're going to encourage just living for today and not being a critical thinker, because it plays into hands of people who want to exploit you. You know, everybody wants to exploit your shortcomings. You know, it's like me. If I'm rebuilding my credit, man, nobody's going to try to offer me a low interest rate. They're going to try to, get the highest interest rate they can. And they're like, take it or leave it. And that's like your rite of passage, right? To rebuild your credit or reestablish that trust, regardless of what the circumstances was. Nobody cares if you went through a divorce. Nobody cares if you lost your job because of a health crisis. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, it's like the less insulated and protected you are, the more vulnerable you are. So for children that don't have a father or don't have a mother that is really trying to keep them family oriented, they're no different than like, the little gazelles that are drinking by the water in the Serengeti, and then there's like an alligator or some leopard or something that's ready to pounce on them because they're by themselves. They don't have no village to protect them. They don't have a family structure. They're not experienced enough in life, and then they don't have a parent who's thoughtful enough to say, "Hey, man, you need to avoid that pitfall." I think if more parents were honest with their screw ups,
Yeah.
kids would make less mistakes. You just need to be honest. Like, hey man, you could do better than me. I did okay, but shit, you could be a nurse. You could be a doctor. You
And as a
can be
parent,
smarter than me.
and Robbie, as a parent, we choose to hide those. You see what I'm saying? We want to put that shit far, far away from our children. You see what I'm saying, Robbie? Like, let me tell you, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm eventually going to have to tell my 12-year-old daughter that I went to jail. You know what I mean? I haven't told her that yet. You know what I mean? I don't, because that touched me, Robbie, when you said that. Like, I don't tell them my mistakes. I don't tell them that I ran around selling drugs for fucking 10 years of my life, because I put that shit back in the past, and I want that shit far away from my children. You feel me?
Man, you're preaching to the choir.
You just spoke wisdom. How are they going to learn if you're not saying, "Hey, I know where you're going. I effed up," etc.? That's
why? Because I think back in the day, at least speaking from my dad's generation, if I think about the generation prior, and my grandfather was a minister, I think, especially a lot of those old country towns in Georgia and some other places, people figured that religion will fix it. Like, as long as your mother is your religious base and you go to church and enough people in the community, there's going to be enough social pressure that even if you don't talk about your past mistakes, there's enough psychological pressure there for somebody to say, you know what? God is always watching. I don't want to shame my parents. I don't want to shame my family, right? So I'm going to at least try my best to not do well. And if to do well, and if I do make a mistake, I'm always trying to put up a front. But here's the thing: now we're in a toxic situation where Black families are in disarray and American families are in disarray as a whole. People losing their shirt, losing their home. They're in debt. People are frustrated. I think it's important for people to change that now and just say, "Hey, look, man, I screwed up. Hey, look, I did not plan for you. Me and your mom got together and we just hooked up." You know what I'm saying?
Wisdom. And then, hey, this is how I screwed up. This is what I should have done. This is, at least advise. That's wisdom, Rob.
I think especially for Black people, we're in the position where we have no choice but to live that way, because you know what? Sometimes our children are not going to be given the same benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Like, my dad would always tell me when some of my friends were selling drugs or just doing questionable stuff, right? Like maybe shoplifting, doing something real dumb, and you just riding with your friends, and my dad's like, "Hey, just remember, you go out there, you hang out with these gangs, or you hang out with one of your friends doing something foolish. I don't got the money to be bailing you out. And if you get killed, me and your mom are gonna hurt, but this world is gonna bury you and forget about you. Your friends are gonna forget about you. After a month or two, they're not even gonna be thinking about you.
And
if
that's
you
what I
get
tell
locked up, they ain't even gonna visit you.
And you know what's funny, Robbie? I find myself telling my 19-year-old son that.
Yes.
I'm like, son, I hate to tell you, but these knucklehead niggas you running around with now, you're not even gonna know them in 20 years. Or if you know, I mean, you're just gonna know them, but y'all are not going to be as close as y'all are now in 20 years, especially if you go on the right path. You see what I'm saying? If you stay in college and do what you're supposed to do, these little knuckleheads that's not in college, just say you hang around with 6 of them. You'll be lucky to still hang around with 1 of them in 20 years.
And that's the talk.
Yeah, you'll be lucky. You'll be because I look back at mine. I'm like, damn, all those knucklehead guys I was running around with, selling drugs with. I only roll with 1 of them now, and neither one of us are in that business anymore.
Born, I'm gonna tell you something that was chilling to me, that had me in deep depression a couple of years ago. It had to be around, I want to say 2018, 2019. I remember, because I'm in Texas, right? But I still pay attention to what goes on in Georgia sometimes. And I remember it was a news story, and they mentioned the guy's name, and they mentioned the death penalty, and the story was talking about his last words. And man, my heart stopped, because I was like, oh my God, that's Robert. That's the dude I went to school with. Everybody kind of knew what happened to him, but I didn't realize that he was put on death row, and that I mean, look, this whole thing happened in like 96, what happened, but he didn't get executed till like that year. And he wasn't even the trigger man. He was, again, I'm gonna just tell you a short story. When I knew this guy, he went to school, he sold candy, he never sold drugs. His parents were kind of middle class, you know what I mean? But he wanted to hang out with gangsters and stuff, and sometimes skip school. And he picked this one wrong day to hang out with a cat that decided to rob people. At first, everybody at school said that they robbed a cab driver and parked the car. But when I looked at the story, they robbed some other dude for his car that was working as a security guard, and the idiot that he was with shot the dude in the head with a shotgun. So once that happened, I mean, he had to be about 17, 18 when he got arrested. But think about it. That means, and I knew there was a lot of people who were jealous of him, because he had a fine girlfriend, dressed nice, was doing well. So when he fell off, there was a lot of people that I knew, kind of like, ironically, like Kevin Samuels, like people that you thought were cool were all like celebrating. And then people like me that just kind of knew him casually, like as a friend, like he never did nothing messed up to me. I was like, man, there's no way. I knew in my heart, I said, there's no way this guy could have been the trigger man. Well, eerily, imagine, like you say, 20 years passed, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
And they say his last words were, "Oh man, it hurts, it burns," with the drugs coming to put him to sleep. And I'm saying, just because I made a different choice than he did that day, I didn't skip school, I didn't go with the wrong person. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
His whole life changed. We had two choices. In other words, his last piece of vajayjay, you know what I'm saying, was in 1996.
96, boy.
That's crazy.
Let me ask you a question. You actually brought up a really important point to me anyway. To me, if you have, a beautiful girlfriend, all this stuff, how do you know when enough is enough? Kind of solidify where or what you have. How do you know when enough is enough? Does that question make sense?
I think everybody's answer is going to be different, because, okay, for instance, I'll tell you a good example with me. With me and my ex-wife, with the trajectory that we were going on, I felt like the sky was the limit. And although I was satisfied, I think I would have still kept pushing. Why? Because I looked where we came from with nothing, right? Got together, she finished school, I was retired, I was going to school for nursing. In other words, we had a set plan for our life. And I remember when we were renting an apartment, man, people in her family would always put us down. Like, how some people try to, like, they rib at you, but they're being like serious. Man, you throwing away all that money in that apartment, man. Y'all need to get a house. I mean, but they would make it like the comment to say every time they saw me, right? But they didn't know, like, look, man, she has her own credit card debt. She's got other issues. I'm not trying to put her personal business out there, right? So you could need to back off. Lo and behold, we went from an apartment to moving into a 3,600 square foot home. So then it went from them not talking no more to just not visiting and slowly hating. And then they started doing everything they could to undermine our relationship. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's no way I could have like looked in a crystal ball and saw that coming. I didn't have enough life experience at that time to understand how snaky people could be. But in terms of the dreams and goals that we had, I feel like God had given us more than we ever asked for. She got her master's degree. I was going to do the nursing thing. I'm already retired. I didn't want to be a rapper. I didn't want to be a singer. Literally, all my goal was, I said, one day open up a business, do stuff for your children, right? So your kids can have something, all of that. That was it. Like, and so what I'm saying to you, if you're doing things legally, and as long as your wife is not unhealthy, which eventually she did become unhealthy because of her ambition, once we got our house, man, she ran out like $25,000-$30,000 worth of credit card debt behind my back. That was like totally out of her character. It's like, where did this come from? And then I found out later she did that trying to help her brother, trying to help family. So that's what I mean. Like, especially for Black people, and I'd say even for Hispanic people to a degree, I think sometimes we have to deal with the social pressure of people in our family that are anchors. You know, some people, family members know how to manipulate you, even if they have a good job, even if you never want your family to be hurting, right? And I think, especially with women, sometimes more than men, somebody knows how to manipulate and make you feel guilty. And it was a cultural thing with her older brother. He made it feel like, well, you owe me, right? So this joker, you know, did that, and it obviously caused us problems. But I don't care about material things, but I am big on trust. So once you show me I can't trust you, especially in a world that is racism, white supremacy, and at any moment you could lose what you have. There was a lot of people losing their houses and so forth. When I look back at everything now, I didn't want to get divorced, but in a way, I'm glad that I did. Why? Because life experience has shown me now that this world is cutthroat, man. And if you make too many mistakes or you're naive, whether that's with family, friends, or just strangers, like we said, people will bury you and forget about you. Man, you could die. Like I guarantee you right now, there's people trying to get Kevin Samuels views and followers. There's people trying to get stuff out of his house, his apartment, any assets he had. There's people who really do care about him, but there's other people that were only around because they want to get what they can get. And it's so sad, man. I can't tell you, when some people thought I was going to lose my house, how some folks try to come up to me like I was a crackhead, and I laughed in their face. I'm like, wow. They're like, hey, man, I could have paid $7,000 for a sofa. They'd be like, hey, bro, I know you're going through what you're going through. Hey, man, I'll offer you $500 for that sofa, man, just to help you out. Because, I mean, I know you're probably going to move to an apartment. I'm like, bro, you don't know anything about me. Rest assured, I still have my house. It's in my name. You did what I'm saying? Like, people didn't know, but they just go by what they experience with other people. And just because they see me sad, they thought it was a financial
Well, the bottom
issue.
line is they didn't know you.
Yeah, and they were looking out for themselves. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, even if you did want to get the sofa, it's like, bro, you know how much I paid for this sofa. You gonna offer me like a couple of $100? You know what I mean? For everything I'm out. Like, in other words, you were waiting for me to show any type of weakness to try to exploit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, be careful about having people around you who love things more than they love you. And like my mom always say, if somebody don't like you, they won't like your children. So I always remember that, Rich. Like, if there's somebody, male or female, if somebody can't respect you or don't like you, man, I wouldn't even trust them being around who I love and who I care about. You know what I'm saying? Because you got folks out here, man, that like to play games, and like, I ain't gonna lie to you, with the police brutality shit. I would always say, bro, thank God, thank you for not letting me have a son yet. Because if I would have had a son and some of this stuff was going on, bro, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be one of them people that could just stand there. I don't care how much money they try to offer, right, to get you to say, you know what, everybody calm down. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. Especially if you know you raised your kid right. You know what I mean? And then you see it on camera. I don't care what anybody say. You won't know what you'll do in that situation until you see it. But just me putting myself in those parent situations, I don't think there's any amount of money that would just take away my pain or make me not want blood. What about you, Rich?
Yeah, no. That's the one thing I'm gonna protect by any means is my family. Right. That's the only way I see myself ever going back to jail. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I don't
Yeah,
see
I'm
how
be
people
honest.
do it.
I've thought about it before. Like, boy, what would if I ever went back to jail? What would it be for? Oh, it would be because somebody, disrespected, not disrespected, but really violated my family or violated me and my home, where my family is. But everything is around my family. Yeah, everything is around my family. So yeah,
Facts, man. Facts.
yeah,
Hey, for the people who accepted the cash payment, I'm not saying that they weren't meant to be compensated, but boy, you better believe they'll be like, Bobby, we need a restraining order for you because we can't have you within 500 feet of this officer. I want him to know that he better not ever just sip tea comfortably for the rest of
yeah,
his
it
life.
ain't
You know what I mean?
exactly. It ain't
I better
cool.
not catch him slipping at a Walmart. Nigga, it could be a wedding. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
you
you know
better know
what's
what
funny?
time it is.
Even speaking on that, what's up, Tash? But even speaking on that, Robbie, so
Hey,
it's kind
hey.
of it ties back into Kevin Samuels. I seen another meme that said all of y'all celebrating because a black man is dead and George Zimmerman is out here signing autographs. Oh, that touched me right there. That touched me right there. Like, but
You're right.
let's
Look, for George Zimmerman to walk around with no fear, one part of it is because he's probably mainly in a white community, and I think there's a couple of times when white people touched him up. But yeah, as Trayvon Martin's father, dude, they would have to arrest me a couple of times for like, and it would be public, like, uh, Mr.
stalking,
Martin, why are you
stalking.
looking? Yeah, you're stalking, Mr. Mr. Zimmerman. You're going up to his autograph signings. You're in his space. Why are you in his space? Oh
Yeah,
no, man, I
right.
just came to tell him about the good news. Tell him about Jesus, his Lord and Savior. That's all.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, Robbie, we got you on footage at this gated community where Mr. Zimmerman lives. We we saw you trying to jump the security fence, all type of shit for real.
Now,
I
you know how I
understand.
would get his ass? I would pose as a white supremacist, man. I would take the time to build up a profile for about like a year so he won't think it's clickbait. And I will reach out to him. I'd do my damnedest to get close to him. Or you find a female that's close to him because everybody's trying to get some nookie every now and then. And then once you figure out what his pattern is and where he is, I'm not saying you got to kill him, but you can send him to the hospital. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can't make him think, about what he did. Like he'll need time to recover. It's like you may have to sip out of a straw for about, 2 or 3 months. It's gonna take you some time. Like what happened to the dude who ran up on the stage with Dave Chappelle? I mean, your arms may be built, be twisted like Swamp Thing. Your knees may need some work. You know what I mean? You're gonna look like Reed Richards or whatever the dude from Fantastic Four. You're gonna be able to stretch, but you'll be all right. You'll live. You might only be able to watch a tennis match with your eyeballs because your vertebrae will be broken. But I'll make every last one of them payments. They'll say, Mr. Blue, you owe George Zimmerman $500,000 in compensation. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay him a penny a month or whatever it is. But he's gonna be thinking about that ass whooping that I gave him though.
Nah, I agree. I agree. So Tash, first and foremost, how you been, sis? How you been, Tash?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I can't
Not bad.
complain.
Coming
I
off of
can't complain.
when did Ramadan end?
It ended on Monday, but yeah, I
Nice.
don't even want to. I don't even want to go. I want to go straight into this Kevin Samuels situation.
Oh, no, I'm damn. Okay, I was making small talk. Okay, all right, sis, I got you. She said, "Fuck
I
this
have
small
been
talk."
on the
Okay.
Clubhouse app like throughout the day today, and I have listened to some horrific stuff. First of all, the women. My prayers are with his family at this moment in time. Right, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
But some of the women that have been speaking about him now, I don't particularly. He's not my cup of tea at all. I think he is quite detrimental to the community. I know a lot of people are going to probably disagree with that, but I think him, Cynthia G, looking into them now. Actually, one thing I want to say about Kevin Samuels, the point he makes about this high value, tiny percentage um, of black men that are higher value and all these black women wanting this tiny percentage and they weren't available to get it because of the numbers. I think that's one of the best points that anyone's made in regards to like black women and black men in relationships and this whole gender issue. So I'll give him that. But what these women have been saying about dancing on his grave, I feel like that really needs to be looked into because Twitter has been awful.
The worst, wasn't it? It wasn't the worst. That's where I went, right? Well, that's how I heard. Like I was
Twitter's been
a guy I
awful.
follow, a guy I've subscribed to on YouTube. I got the notification, and he said Twitter is saying Kevin Samuels is dead. So of course, I immediately go to Twitter And I'm just like, yo, everybody is celebrating.
Yeah,
They are
everyone's having
celebrating.
funeral parties. Kevin Samuel funeral parties.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hey, let's get into it then.
All right, do your thing,
Is it
boss.
ever appropriate to celebrate the death of somebody?
Not in this
In a
fashion.
negative,
So,
and I mean like in a negative way, not your family, and this is gonna be a homegoing celebration. It's like, no, I didn't like him or her, and she's dead. I'm about to celebrate. Is it ever appropriate?
no, I mean definitely not. We've got a culture of drill artists, young boys that make songs on killing other young boys and celebrate it and make money off of it. I just
Mhm.
hope that women don't get to do that here with him. You know, I don't think. I think that's a step down for our community. If people are going to make money off of his death, yeah, I think that's the wrong message to send out there. I don't
Well,
How do
think.
we react? How do we react if George Zimmerman, the man who murdered Trayvon Martin,
Right.
how do we react if
I
we
know.
found out
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in the morning he was murdered?
you
I
don't
wouldn't.
have you don't have to mourn.
Yeah, you
Okay,
just don't have
Don't
to
don't
necessarily react.
celebrate, but don't feel sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that, Stanley.
okay, I
Yeah.
got you. I'm just trying to use any examples because this is a question I had to ask myself today. I'm like, Born, if the worst white supremacists that you hate, if they died, would you celebrate?
Mm.
And I couldn't answer that with a no, guys. I know this. I know that's hard to hear, but I couldn't honestly say no. I would
You know
probably
what it is,
fire up
born.
the live stream. Go ahead, Robert.
When somebody dies, I guess the key question you have to ask is, what did that person mean to you? Because our energy and how we just, share our energy with the world, it's different with our family than we do when we're like a persona, right? Like some people may say what they want to say about Donald Trump, right? And then there's people who knew him personally in a business sense, and they'll say, you know what, bro, the image that he presents online or when he's at these speeches is not who he is 24/7. So you got the social media perception of who he is. I just think when it comes to your family members, even if you're a serial killer, they're always going to love you.
Yeah.
And for people who have a political beef with you or a social beef, they probably would want to tap dance on your grave. So hopefully nobody shows up to his funeral and be disrespectful. I wouldn't put that past some people, to be honest. In this social media age, they
Yeah.
need to keep his funeral private because there's people who are clout chasers, man.
And I think
Unfortunately.
they
Yeah,
will.
but
I
the thing
think
is, Robbie, are they going to keep it private? Because he is somebody who likes to make money off of people, and I just think that I think it's
I
going
mean,
to
how did he
be
make money off of people?
people could, from what I understand, people were only able to go into his chat if they paid him or something along those lines. Someone was mentioning this to me today. I was shocked.
I mean, yeah, but that's still kind of marketing. It's like
Well,
I
if
think the
he
main reason why he did that too is to stop trolls. He's like, if
yeah,
you're gonna say something derogatory about me, at least you're gonna pay. Otherwise, your membership, if you got a small membership, you're part of my tribe, and I know that you're a true supporter. Because like
and
right
he's
now, somebody could just come up and say something disrespectful to Born.
yep, and I ain't
well,
gonna lie.
he was a marketing guy before he got
Yeah,
into
exactly.
YouTube. He knows how to do this sort of stuff. I think he had a Patreon too.
No, he was a genius in that, guys. We have to admit that
Yeah,
he was a marketing genius, man.
yeah.
Like Kevin Samuels only really been around for like a year and a half. Like he
Yeah.
went viral. He went viral. Don't know if he paid for that. Probably paid to go viral. But when he went viral, he went viral. And then he just kept doing more. It was just marketing. It was marketing. You can look at his fucking setup. Look at his whole setup right now that I got on the screen. He's a hell of a marketer, man. Can't take that away from him. Like even YouTubers that I listen to that's good at marketing said that about Kevin. That's one
Now,
thing you
how
couldn't
many
say.
people you think are gonna copy his setup? Or I wonder if he had anything written in his will for somebody to be his successor and pick up where he left off.
Mm. He
Yeah, I
probably
think.
didn't. He probably
Yeah.
didn't though. I don't know. I can't say that, but I don't know. It's unlikely.
Uh,
It's unlikely that he did. It is, but like
He
marketing,
wasn't expecting to die. Hey, what did you hear his cause of death was? I heard a heart attack. What'd you hear?
yeah, same thing, same
I
thing.
had a heart attack on top of a woman.
Yep, but not like that. He said, well, the police report, because I did read the police. I will go pull up the police report. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
Let's pull that up. Yeah, let's pull it up.
Good thing for him, at least, as people were going to spread rumors about his last moments, at least he was with a woman. You see,
Oh
so that clears up all
Yeah.
that other BS that people are trying to say.
That's Robbie to say such a thing. Oh my god.
Me and my homeboy were joking. We're like, look, man, Viagra's and cocaine don't go well together. And if it was a heart attack allegedly from cocaine, then it probably was fentanyl. You dig what I'm saying? But
Oh
hopefully
my
he wasn't an occasional tutor, you know?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard the
And I went
cocaine.
on Melanie's channel the other day and I told her, I said, all you women that are celebrating Kevin Samuels, I said, don't you know that he's over there giving seminars to the angels and they got facial recognition? They're going to look out for you. And when you come into the pearly gates, but before you talk to Jesus, Samuel's going to go, well. So what's your height? What's your dress size?
Hey, somebody said
How much
this.
did you earn?
This I know the internet is funny as hell. Some girl said, "How about at his funeral? At his funeral, he don't have. If you're 35 with kids, 35 or older with kids, you can't come. And if your dress size is not a 4 or below, you can't come."
That would be funny.
That was hilarious, man. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's pull up
Let's see the police report.
to the police.
You know, the odd thing is, I think that he's going to probably not have a lot of complications and stuff. You know, I may not agree with him, but he was damn smart.
All right, here we
He
go. Here we go.
probably took care of some business.
Here we go, guys. On May 5th, am I sharing my screen? Yeah. Cool. On May 5th, 2022, Officer J. Figueroa, they got his unit number, responded to a call at 297 East Paces Ferry apartment number 1605, regarding a person injured. Upon arrival, the officer observed the fire department engine number 24 performing CPR to a black male unresponsive on the floor of his apartment. I then met Mrs. Blank, who identified the male as Mr. Kevin Samuels. She stated that she met Mr. Samuels last night, came to his apartment, and spent the night with him. She also said that early morning, Mr. Samuels complained of chest pain, and that she attempted to help him, but he fell on top of her and proceeded to notify 911.
I need a Vlad interview from this woman. I want to see if she's black, white, Chinese. Secondly, for him to pick her up, it makes me think more and more like a setup, homie. You know what I mean? The more and more I think about it, because he did have a lot of enemies.
Yeah, she said she had just met him the night before, too.
He just
That's
didn't have a
suspicious.
good ticker, and he probably was involved with her, and it went down, and that was it. Unfortunately, guys. And the thing is, it's interesting because he talks about the health of women, and he wasn't even looking into his own health. Because from what I understand, he's been unwell for a lengthy period of time, and he's addicted to Red Bull and all kinds of crap. So
I take
Well,
it, Tash, you're a little bit happy he's gone. Not celebrating, but you're probably like, good riddance.
no, I'm never happy.
well,
anyway.
all I have to say is he's the same age as me, so
Yeah,
And that's
I'm
not old.
not happy anyway.
That's not old at all, man.
I don't really know him well enough, to be honest.
well, yeah, it wasn't old when he died either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's not old. 50s, down in your 50s, that shit, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think that's something old people say. Like the older we get, we be like, man, that's not that old. That's not shit, nigga. It's not too old for me to drop a mixtape. Nigga, it's not too old for me to stop a record label. Nigga, it's not too old for me to be a YouTuber and go to the strip club. We gonna keep putting it up.
Gosh,
We gonna keep fighting
Yeah,
that
but
shit out.
the best part is it's not too old to get a woman to come back to your apartment.
Yeah,
That's
Stanley, do you
what
know who
I'm
the
paying
sexiest
attention
man in
to.
America is? Stanley, do you know who the sexiest man in America is?
I
Benjamin
don't.
Franklin.
Who?
Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, for goodness sake!
I get it.
I hope not. I don't have many
The
of those.
mighty dollar.
The dollar, yeah.
That's not
That's
a dollar.
a bit of
That's not a dollar.
Robbie. That's a bit of a doom and gloom kind of outlook on
Nah, man, that's
women are
just
attracted to in
reality.
America.
That's just reality. If when you're an old man, I'm not gonna be dumb enough to think some woman just thinks I'm so sexy. It's obviously like if I'm mysteriously
Might be
sexy,
your
it's because she
character,
did a
Robbie.
Google
Your
search.
character might take
Well,
you.
wait, hold on
If
now.
I'm looking for
Don't
love,
bust my bubble, young man.
look, if I'm looking for love, then you're right. My character may win a woman over, but keeping it a buck, I think money plays a very big role in some of these relationships. So we see somebody old enough to be somebody grandpa, and they with somebody 30. You know what I mean, or 20 something.
Oh, Robbie, I feel so for you, but anyway, good luck.
Yeah, man. But what I'm saying
Oh,
though,
don't
what I
feel sorry
Well,
for me. When I'm
it's
retired,
time to
I'm gonna make
change
sure I got
color.
a boatload of money. Tasha's gonna be saying, "Oh, Robbie, I feel sorry for you," and all you're gonna hear is "dang, dang, 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 bang, bang, bang." Don't move, girl.
Oh
Bang,
my
dang,
God.
dang, dang.
oh my God.
Then I'm gonna go to Somalia. I'm like, yep. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna be
So
60 getting it in. I'm gonna be 70 getting it in. Don't worry.
I'm going to mute while someone goes over that line.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, Robbie. I'm free from what Robbie just said. To the
I'm
Somali,
just being a comedian.
I know, Robbie. Yeah, but to the Somali brothers and sisters, I'm free from that. I am free from
I'm
that.
basically what I'm trying to tell you is, man, I'm an equal opportunity employer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie to myself if I'm as old as Bill Cosby saying, you know what? Jesus sent me this 20-year-old that made bad choices and now she's looking for her phone bill paid. No, she's not here to play Uno. She is not here to tell me about
Robbie.
Jesus.
It
Come
might,
on.
Robbie, she might just fall for you, the person that you are. Oh
Tosh,
my
you know what? They
goodness.
don't make women like you no more. We need to
So,
clone you.
Tosh,
I've heard this. I'm hearing this a
so
lot recently.
now I have some interesting questions for Tosh and Robbie.
All right, go ahead, Stanley.
Well, no, I thought it was a joke. Anyway, I will mute.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I'm being cynical. Look, there are good women like Tosh, like my mom, like women that I've met in my life in the past that I know that are good. But I also will say there's also a lot of women who are not like you. So we just have to see it for what it is.
Yeah, you just
Right.
gotta find the right one, man, and settle.
But sometimes the wrong one is a great sexual partner. So that's what I mean. Don't feel sorry for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I gotta admit that. I gotta admit that. They say the crazy ones got the good. That's what they say. That's what they say.
Speaking of good, did y'all see what Megan Good did? She left the good pastor for a guy named Disaster, the rapper.
The battle rapper?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dude, Google it if you think I'm lying. I swear on my mama, bro. I couldn't believe it. I was heartbroken. See what I mean, Tash?
Yeah, that is quite surprising if that's the case, because I know she took a lot of flack for from the congregation, so I'm quite surprised. Oh, that's disappointing, you know.
She was acting like she was the mourning wife and this and that and the other. Then as soon as she got divorced, she did a photo shoot. And after that, it's like, hey,
it was time for
I'm
the
ready to
glow up.
go. I'm available.
It's a beautiful woman as well. It's a
It
shame.
was time for the glow up. All right. So when we talk about Kevin Samuels, another thing that I kept hearing is, well, he had a good message. It was just his delivery. I want to get on that, man. I want to get on that delivery talk, right? That delivery talk. It's like, because we even got a saying, right? It's not what you're saying, it's how you say it.
I call
Me,
bullshit.
that's what that's what I was about to say. I say bullshit, right? Because us black people, we are stubborn. We are really, really stubborn. And sometimes you have to curse, yell, be brutally honest. You have to tell us like it is. And I don't and I guess that's why I get along with people, right? Because when I grew up, I had my older grandparents, right? I had my grandparents who would straight up tell you, "Oh, girl, it look like you getting fat." You see what I'm saying? Oh, damn. I mean, just say some crazy stuff like, "Oh, okay. So what's this girl's name? Hey, grandma, I want you to meet Keisha." "Oh, this is Keisha. What happened to Tasha?" It's like, come on, grandma. What? But I come up with that. I had an uncle who would just be brutally honest, blunt, say whatever, no filter, say whatever the fuck is on his mind. and tell it like it is.
Born. Listen. Yes, we had those blunt grandparents, uncles, and aunts, right? But
Yeah.
Kevin is saying it specifically for the woman to attract another man. He should be saying anybody who is talking about the health of anybody, they should be saying it in regards to them getting healthy for themselves, not to attract anybody else. And that grandmother and that aunt and that uncle, they always had your best interest at heart. Not for you to go and find Megan Thee Stallion down the road or whatever he considers high value to be. It was for you to be healthy and to live long. And I don't think Kevin Samuels was necessarily about that.
You know why I disagree with that? Look,
Go on,
everyone came
Robbie.
to Kevin Samuels voluntarily. So it's not like he was trying to force advice. People were coming to him for advice or to challenge him, number one. Number two, if we say that the delivery message has to be positive, I can use music as an example to say that ain't true, because you can have somebody put out positive music with no cussing. You know what I'm saying? Be
Yep.
on the uplift the people tip, and people be like, man, that's corny. They want to hear death, murder, kill. We want something with some excitement. You know what I mean? If a dude is too nice, a woman can say he's boring. You
No,
know
but
what I mean?
Robbie, your health, if I was to say, bro, you're eating too much sugar, you're diabetic, I'm not telling you because I'm trying to get you to attract Keishas and whoever else. I'm telling you specifically because I would like your health to
Oh,
improve.
no. Okay, I get what you're saying. Look,
Yeah.
whenever he mentioned something about weight with those women, they were asking him to evaluate them where they were. So he would ask them, okay, what is it that you want? I want a man that makes $500,000 a year, that's a virgin, that's a born again Christian, that has rock hard abs, and for him to
And he
only
works
settle
out.
himself for
Yeah.
me, he'll say,
Right.
okay, well, then how do you look? And if they say, man, I am 300 pounds, I got 2 kids, but I have a good heart. He'll be like, okay, then just know that this dude may not be checking for you. You'd be better off for somebody.
But was
You know
he
what I'm
saying
saying?
it like that though? Because Robbie, you said it.
Sometimes, and Tash,
Sometimes
it's
he
hard.
would. It
It's
just
hard,
depends on
Tash.
how much of an attitude the woman
I'd have
has.
to see some
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's hard, Tash, because you gotta admit, Tash, like you only really listen to clips of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's really out of context. Now, was he harsh? Sometimes harsh is relative. I can
Yeah.
say he was brutally honest and blunt. He was
Yeah.
blunt. Just to
If he
tell
was a straight up
But the
woman
thing,
basher, I wouldn't have liked him.
do you
like
guys not think it's ironic that he actually had a health issue towards the end? He wasn't actually looking at his own health.
He wasn't saying anything about weight for health. So you're missing the point. He's talking about your sexual market value. And it's true, like me, if I went through the trouble of having 5% body fat and I had a crap load of money, I'm going to weigh out my options. Yeah, I'm going to want somebody that has a good heart and that's a good mother and all that. But I don't think I have to deal with a full cup of ugly. I'll take a half a cup of
Did
ugly.
you say full cup
But
of ugly?
yeah, a
Robbie,
full
you're out
cup
of
of
order.
ugly is too much.
Robbie,
A
you're
full,
out of order.
yeah,
First
but
of all,
a half a cup, I can deal with a half. Look, me being an average dude right
oh my
now,
gosh.
I could kind of
Robbie,
deal with a half a cup of ugly. But if
yeah,
I'm
but
top of the
somebody's ugly
line,
is somebody's beauty. But I think black women should be healthy. That's definitely something that I stand by. I think we should be in good health. Black men should be in good health. We should
you're right.
promote this. But we should
Yep,
be
and
doing
I
it
need to
for
improve my
ourselves.
health. I know that.
So
Well,
if I look
I
at a
mean,
woman, and say, "Oh, sweetie, you're just not that attractive," is something wrong with it? Like, is something wrong with that? That's just
Born, but the thing is, your preferences might not
Born,
be
you're
standard
bashing
of.
black women if you do that. You're not allowed to
No,
have an
but hold
opinion. If
on,
you call her
Robbie.
anything other than a queen, you're wrong.
Hold on. Robbie Born and Stanley, you lot may not have the same preferences in a woman. So who's to say? How can he like level up this kind of
I think you're
standard?
wrong there, sis. See, let me tell you a little secret with men. Men, most of the time, we really don't have a type. We just put women in two different categories: potentially marry and settle down with, or have fun. If I'm trying to have fun, I may be Dr. Frankenstein that day. I may be in a titty mode. I say, you know what? I'm just in a big titty mode. The chick at
Oh
Walmart with
my
them big old
gosh.
titties, I want her number.
Oh
I
my
want to
gosh.
play with those fun bags. That's it.
Oh
I'm
my
not trying to
gosh.
have a relationship. I'm not trying to get to know her. I'm not trying to meet her mother. I ain't trying to dog her out. I just was in a pity mood that day. Now, there may be somebody that I meet that's like Tosh, that's intelligent, that's centric, that is into history and health and all that. And I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to put her in a serious category. But she still got to look decent. She can't have a Joey pouch. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? And,
you're
you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
revealing
I'm
too
gonna have to
much about
apologize on
men.
my behalf. I've just been arguing with him about this, so I don't know.
Don't tell her all our secrets.
Yeah. We gotta keep the code. Keep the code, brother Robbie.
Oh yeah, you're right. The first thing we look at is a woman's mind.
Yeah, yes. Brains over beauty, brains over booty. Yeah, man.
But hold on, looks fade though, folks. Looks fade, and it's the character that grows on you. The woman that's gonna stand by you, and the woman can lose weight. I mean, you could take her to the gym.
This is why women have dating problems, and they needed somebody like Kevin Samuels. You guys have this Walt Disney Deuteronomy idea of what men should be, and we tell you what we want. Fix us a sandwich, don't talk too much, and be amazing in bed.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. That's it. You can be old grandma and I'm old grandpa. As long as your head is fire, we're staying married. But the minute you get lazy, say it's menopause, you're too tired, and it happens over several weeks and days, that can be problematic. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, like Kevin Samuel said, women give men access to sex. Men give women access to marriage and stability, right? In terms of partnership. It's really simple. I don't know why people make it complicated. And if it's my wife, that's not a bad thing, right? So my wife, if I took the time to marry you, we don't have to worry about your looks fading. Because I didn't just marry you for looks. There's other things. Because you can have women who look good and they're terrible in bed. They're lazy. They feel entitled. That's why we'll cheat with a fat librarian.
Oh my gosh, Robbie,
a woman will be like, "Oh my God, I'm a size 4, and I'm a model," and then he cheats with the librarian that's a little chubby with the big titties because she gets fired head and she knows how to cook collard greens. Man,
Robbie, that's too much information. Oh my God.
I'm just joking. You know what, Ray Rich? I'm sorry.
Robbie going in. Robbie going in about this, boy.
Oh my goodness.
See what we say about delivery? Sometimes you got to give the delivery with a little bit of humor to make your point, because we don't have time to have long diatribes, right? Especially the older we get. It's like, I don't know why people make it complicated, because look, this is what's funny. We make complicated discussions when we talk and theorize, but when we get to the points that hurt us, notice how it's all the same. Men who say why women generally hurt them, they're pretty much all the same, which is why Kevin Samuels can have a big following, or women can have these talking points, right? And they'll all agree, no matter if their relationships were different, they'll agree on certain talking points. Why? Because they have similar experience, because these women want the same basic things. So that's what I mean. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. We just need to listen. But I think for men and women, you just have to have realistic expectations. You can't expect your woman, to have a high sex drive all the time, or be able to cook and clean and help with the kids and contribute money and all this, and not be human. On the same token, you can't be a woman and expect the man to do for everything, and you never contribute anything financially or emotionally, and you just take him for granted and be like, well, you know what, you're dad or your husband, so that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So it's a balancing act. I think if we spend more time focused on how we can love on the other person, as opposed to just only making sure our needs are met, things will be better. And I think that was the whole point that he was pointing out. It's like, you're focusing on all your needs and what you want, and you haven't even met this dream guy. You don't know what he looks like, but you know what his wallet looks like. You don't know what kind of value system he has, but you know what you don't want to do in a relationship. Oh, I don't want to have to work, and I only want to have like the 3 kids, and I want to have this kind of car and this kind of lifestyle and whatever. And it's like, man, you don't need. So that lets me know you're in love with the lifestyle or the idea of a lifestyle. You're not in love with a person. So you're not looking for a husband. You're looking for a vacation package.
Well, I don't know, Robbie. I think that's a bit. I don't know. This is not my. I don't know about these spaces, to be honest with you. I've been looking into it recently, but personally, I don't think a man, no disrespect, who's been divorced on 2 occasions has a right to. He doesn't have the credentials to kind of talk about relationships, and he hasn't been successful.
If he talks about his mistakes, he does. Look, I think a person who has been divorced a few times could give me some advice, because I know to not do what they did. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't agree with everything he said, because I think like one time he said something about men having like high-priced escorts or something like that, and it not being tricking. I didn't agree with him on that, talking about paying like $5,000 and this and that, the other, for exclusivity. Now, here's the thing. I'm not knocking anybody who does, because maybe somebody's a millionaire and they got it like that. But just say if you're a regular everyday dude, like me and Bourne was saying earlier, you're an average guy. I don't need to try to like live up to that mantra. I would never pay a woman $5,000 to sleep with me. I wouldn't even want to pay a woman $100 to sleep with me. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you shouldn't put a price tag on that type of interaction. However, I can understand if somebody's a politician or a lawyer or a celebrity, they may spend that amount of money because they're hoping that it stays secret and it stays private, I'm assuming. But he made it seem like it was like a status thing or whatever. I heard him say that one time in a video, and I was like, he was just talking about levels for men, and that was something I actually disagreed with.
Yeah, I didn't agree with him on everything either. You feel me? And you know what I mean? I don't want to keep bringing up all the disagreements, but I will name this. He said he was just like men. At one point, he was kind of hinting at men. We should just leave black women alone. You know what I'm saying? He started to kind of go that way on me, and I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. Yeah, we're not. We not.
Yeah, I think it wasn't he. To me, I think his agenda was for people to divest, and I don't know. People are saying no, he's about black marriage. So
yeah, but he was though. He was though. You know what I mean? He every time he spoke, he was speaking about black couples.
Yeah. I don't know, but
he would always say like, if you want to date outside your race, and he would ask the women. He would ask the women like, "What are you trying to marry? Are you trying to get married?" If they say yeah, he would say to a black man. Or he would ask them, "Does race matter?" You know what I mean? Does race matter? So he was on that. I can't knock it.
You know what? You make a great point, Born, because whenever he brought that up, he was trying to tell the women, like, look, if you're going for a specific race of men, just understand the dichotomy and the percentages with that, right? Because maybe black men may not be at the top of that list. So that makes your expectations that much even unrealistic.
The numbers dwindle, right? Because he was like, how many kids you trying to have? Okay, I'm trying to have 3 kids. But where you at? Okay, I'm in Atlanta. What's the cost of living there? Okay, boom. And then you want a man that makes this much yearly. All right. Do you want him to be black? Okay, cool. Well, this is the percentage of black men in America that makes this amount of money yearly that you want. And and that's what I spoke about earlier when I first started this broadcast. I appreciate his conversation because it made me realize how delusional some people are. It made me realize how delusional I am.
I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go deeper as a divester, right? As somebody could call me. In a deep sense, what Kevin Samuels was highlighting is how badly some black men do want to find a black woman that's like intelligent, like some of the women you have on your panel. And guess what? They don't stay on the market long. If somebody like Tosh is intelligent and has some morals, she's going to get swooped up quickly for obvious reasons. But there's a whole lot of women out here that have unrealistic expectations. They'll take help for granted. They'll take, you know what I mean? Somebody being a good-hearted dude for granted. And sometimes you could write it off as, oh, well, maybe at her age, we were young. It was immaturity. But then he shows you on his show, it's scary. Man, you got 40, 50-year-old fools, 30-something-year-old fools, you know what I mean? That are selfish and feel entitled and living in, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, now this is the dating pool. So and some of these things these women are saying, they keep it to themselves. It's not like they're going to tell you when you're dating them or when you meet them or you get their number. They just secretly have this ambition in their mind or whatever. So here we go again. You got men that if they're not careful, they'll waste their time dating a woman, catering to a woman, paying for meals, investing all this time and energy. And she never has intentions to be serious with you because she's bored with you or whatever. So you got women saying, hey, I'm going to be like a man and I'm going to have a rotation. So Born, I like him. He has a business. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to get him to get my daughter something for her birthday. Robbie, he's a good listener. I'm going to have him over the phone, to talk to when I want to get advice about other men or whatever. And maybe I might hook up with him a couple of times because he's decent and I'm hooking up with both of these dudes. But in reality, the man that I really want is an NFL player or a doctor. So until that man comes around, I'm just going to juggle these guys around and I'm just going to have the luxury of saying I'm a free spirit. I'm not dating anybody exclusively, all of this stuff that ends up not being healthy and it wastes time. And we see the end results of that. It's a lot of buyer's regret into what I call toxic femininity. So I think the truth of what we're seeing is, look, there's a lot of men, especially black men, that want to be in relationships with black women, that want to have healthy families and so forth. But at the same point in time, you got people on both ends, male or female, that I think sometimes spread a lot of toxic misinformation and cause a lot of pain. so people can be hurt and feel rejected and be like, you know what, man, now I'm an equal opportunity employer. Now, this chick that's at my job that wants to talk to me, I'll talk to her. But here's the thing, especially in the political climate that we live in now, we desperately now need black women more than ever, because in a lot of these other situations, man, just keeping it a buck, there's an angle of racism there where you have to be twice as successful, which I don't think is cool. You can have a black man who's very successful and he'll get with an average white girl. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even really that accomplished in anything, right? But that will be the standard for her family to accept you. You know what I'm saying? Or like we could even look at Kanye West. Kanye West to me was more successful than Kim Kardashian, and he went all he bent over backwards, had children, did all this, and he's having manic episodes over her, and her whole career was scripted by her mom, according to Ray J. Allegedly, he said her mom put out the sex tape. Her mom did all that for her own daughter to be, famous. So they put money and prestige over even morality, and then they try to play the victim now. So long story short, we do need our black women, and we need black women to mentor other black women so that some of these toxic beliefs, right, regardless of whether you agree with Kevin Samuels or not, some of that delusional antics needs to be dealt with and addressed, because you have average black men that do want to be married and they want a faithful wife and a loving wife. We ain't got to go back to the 50s, right? But don't bring up Jesus without bringing up, you know what I'm saying, the dynamics in a relationship and the roles that people play. And that's my issue, is people will pull up the religious card and say what a man is supposed to do, but they say nothing about being a helpmate and being loving and not being bitter and not being angry and being a good listener, right? And working together as a team, loving each other. That's my only gripe, because you hear it coming out now. That's why you have all this gender divide, and it's very toxic and it's not productive.
Oh, facts, 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 Robbie. Facts, Robbie. Um, let's see. So we were saying he was speaking harsh. We said speaking harsh. A little bit of some of his videos, and we'll break down these videos as we go along. Because like I said, what I stand on is I don't know, but see, I gravitate towards people that are fucking brutally honest and don't have a filter. Like when I heard Kevin Samuel speak, I just felt like he didn't have a filter. I didn't know. I didn't really think it was disrespectful like that. I just thought he don't have a filter. He's just blunt, brutally honest, and he tell it like it is. He would tell that girl, what's your height, dress size, how
Hey,
much you
boy,
weigh. That's overweight, sweetie. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got a question for you. I got a question for you. Do you think that maybe part of the reason why he became brutally honest and stopped having a filter is because he had a brush with death in the past with cancer? And it made him more in tune with valuing time and understanding, like, hey, man, I got a message that I need to get out of me before I die. I don't know how much time I have, so I need to just be passionate and unfiltered. That's kind of how Tupac was. Tupac, he didn't know the day he was going to die, but after he had a brush with death and he realized that he could die and his voice could be silenced, it seemed like everything inside of him that he wanted to get out, he was in a rush to get it out, and he let it out with no filter. So I'm not saying that would give it an excuse, but I think it would help people better understand maybe what motivated him to be the way he was, you know?
I don't know. Or maybe he felt like that soft talking, sweet talking, nice shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you get tired of talking to people in the sweet, nice, hey, I asked you to do this and I think you should be like this. Nah, man, fuck all that. Ain't nobody got time for that, man. It's time to be blunt, honest, you know what I mean? Truthful, and just deliver the shit how you want to, man. This is why I like when I go and talk and chill with the Hebrew Israelites. Because they're going to be brutally honest. One thing's going to say, they're going to speak with no filter. I love it. I love when I talk to some of the guys I know from the hood, because they're just going to be blunt and honest. And if they say some shit that offends me, I don't take it as disrespect. No, I don't know. Like I said, that delivery shit is weird to me. Instead, talk to me nice. Come on, please talk to me nice, man. I know you finna tell me some shit I don't want to hear, but say it to me nice. Nah. It's too late in the game for that. For real. But let me play some of this, guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I'm back. I've been gone for a minute. Been gone for like 2 weeks. I missed y'all, and I'm back, family. So y'all hit that like button.
Children can come out of whatever I do. I can be 70 years old, and as long as I'm not shooting blanks, I can make babies. You can't.
The reason why I became a phlebotomy technician is because there's something called a paramedical insurance examiner.
Get the fuck off my phone, bitch. I don't get the phone. Go take blood, boy. You in a job where people quiet in the background. Have you watched one of my videos, a 3-hour video from front to back?
That girl situation when he was ranking. That girl.
Okay, you're not paying attention.
When he was what? Talk to him.
Have you watched one of my videos? Have you watched the full video of mine from front to back? One of my live streams.
I just saw.
My bad, y'all. I had to pause it right there. Tash, you still there, Tash? You still with me? Tash. Hello. I seen you come off mute, Tash, but I can't hear you.
I know I'm still here.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I'll ask you, Robbie. You're not a woman, but why do you think women called him or went onto his lives?
I mean, honestly, I think subconsciously, especially if you're a person involved in social media or you care about image, people want to know how much they measure up. Like they have an idea in their own mind of how they measure up. So since they knew he was really strict, I think some of them just wanted to know out of curiosity what he would say to them. And maybe going into the conversation, they figured, man, look, I already know I'm a 10. I already know I'm a 9. So I know he's going to tell me a bunch of positive stuff. I don't know about these other women and what they experience, but I know when he sees me or he hears me, it's going to be different. And I think also too, some of them genuinely probably wanted some good advice, even if they don't want to outwardly admit it. I remember hearing a lot of women say, when I make a Kevin Samuels joke, like say on Twitter or some other spaces, they'll say, look, I'm not going to openly admit it, but I do watch Kevin Samuels and I do like his stuff. But it's almost like they can't say it around other women because generally speaking, it'll make them look like they're drinking Drano or something. So that's just my take on it.
You think some of the women were looking for some sort of validation?
Validation, maybe validation for some, ego for some, and honestly, for some of them, and I could hear in some cases, and it would break my heart. Some of them really wanted guidance, but again, he gave them the truth. And you could tell those women took the truth in love, but they were also kind of hurt because maybe they felt a little hopeless. And maybe that was the critique from some women to say, hey, man, how dare you tell this woman with 4 or 5 kids, she can't level up? Who do you know? Now, letting those words come off of my mouth, I just thought about it right when I was trying to defend the woman's position. It does sound crazy, and it makes me laugh like when I would hear Kevin just say what he had to say. But we've been taught as a culture to tell women that they can't do no wrong. And then what our religious beliefs, we'd be like, all things are possible because of Jesus. So yeah, it's true. I'm not saying a woman can't have 4 kids by different men and not find a great man. And that was not his point either. But if they're saying that they deserve a guy that, is in the 1% of earners, that may be a little unrealistic.
Yeah. That's it. It's just realistic goals. We have to have realistic goals, man. And that's what his show showed me. That a lot of people don't have realistic goals. And it's not just his show. You can go on damn near any YouTube channel and anywhere and say, okay, these people don't really have realistic goals. You know what I'm saying? Shit, people will tell me my reparations fight is unrealistic. So, you know what I mean? So I guess that's relative too. Realistic and unrealistic goals. But I just think, man, like me and the brother Robbie been saying all night, man, you have to take in consideration what you are doing. What are you doing to attract or get the man or the woman that you want. Because we all can build up. I can build up Mrs. Right 17 times in my mind. But what am I doing to go get this 10? This badass girl that's a 10. I can sit here and look on TV all day and say, oh man, that I think that's a 10. I can get her. Oh man, look at her. She's a 10. I can get her. But like, come on, boy. What are you doing? What are you doing to put yourself? What are you doing to put yourself in the position? How would you even get in the room with that person? That's another thing Kevin Samuels would say. How would you even get in the room with that person? I don't know. Let's listen to some more of the video.
I just saw one video. Was it the whole? I think it was a whole video of some girl he
was ranking her. He asked her what
you asked her what she ranked herself.
I have a full 3-hour show that I do, and you watched a 7-minute clip. I challenge you and your friend to go back to my channel and watch the full 30-minute. Oh, now see, I'm not going to do this. And this is the problem. But you haven't even responded to what I said. You haven't even watched the full video of where the excerpt was coming from, but your friend has the nerve to make a judgment that women have no problem judging men on partial information.
Stop
When a man,
women, please.
And you women are acting just like so many women who get upset. You have little to no information. You're not willing to do the work.
To ask me certain questions, and what you're responding to, I'm responding back to it. So you're referring to past videos, but I'm referring to things that you're telling me now. But you don't even let other people talk. You're asking me how old I am. You're generalizing women.
No, we haven't had sex.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because I'm stingy. I'm stingy with the puss.
Excuse me?
I'm stingy with it. I do not give it up easily.
Were you married to your daughter's your baby mama, though, right?
I've never been married, no, but I just I know.
Hold on. Let's talk about this though. See, I find it funny that women like yourself, baby mamas, all of a sudden want to get stingy with the puss after you done gave your womb up before a ring. But then you want the high value men to put a ring on it before he gets it?
So am I supposed to give it away?
You goddamn right you already did. Because here's the thing. See, that's what I mean. Man, you're a used vehicle wanting brand new 2021 prices. You can laugh all you want to, ma'am, but you just said 6 months. You're not even exclusive. You're talking about he's marriage-minded. What do you think he's inserting his penis? In his hand?
No, that's the thing. He could be inserting it somewhere else.
Exactly, because here's the thing. Men with options don't play these games.
Okay.
Robbie, where you at, bro? That was a lot. Shit, that was a lot.
I heard part of it. He was saying like women get, I guess they get stingy when what can you repeat what that last part, what he basically said?
Well, he was pretty much saying, okay, I think that caller was saying she was like dating somebody for 6 months. They haven't had sex. Don't really plan on having sex with him anytime soon because she's stingy. She's stingy with the box. And then he was like, okay, well, you got kids, right? Have you ever been married? She said she had kids, never been married. And he said, well, you've already given somebody that box. And now you want to put it up? And then the last thing he said, like, you're a used vehicle asking for new vehicle money.
I mean, when he, lowers it into that sense with those metaphors, from an emotional, animalistic standpoint, I can understand exactly what he's saying. Like, fair is fair, and this and that, the third. Now, I would have a couple of questions to ask. One, what is the young lady's age? And two, what is it that she's looking for in a man? If she's not looking for somebody who's a millionaire, but she's looking for somebody to take her serious, I can't understand how some women could say, look, I tried doing it this way, or I gave too much of myself too fast, and then I did get used or I did get whatever. Now, if a woman has that understanding that she's letting you know, look, I am physically attracted to you, but I want to get to know you. I think if she's a good woman that brings other things to the table, I could see a man waiting for a little while. I'm not saying for several years, but for a little while. Now, on the flip side, this is the game that I do see some women play. They may say, oh, Robbie's a nice guy. He's nice and sweet. I'm going to make him wait. But Born is my homeboy from the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And he's over there beating it up while I'm telling Robbie that he needs to wait.
Yeah.
And Born is laughing like how he laughed right
Yeah.
now. I'll be like, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
Because Born ain't waiting no 6 months. I'm just straight up. Born is not waiting 6 months.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Unless I live with somebody or I speak to them on a regular basis and you get to know more about their character, it's just really hard to trust people these days, even if you want to.
Yeah, y'all wild. I know I ain't waiting no fucking 6 months. No. Hold on. I want to see. Let me see something. Let me see something. I want to find one. Savage. I guess we'll go to it.
Feel that? That's your body, baby. It's telling you.
Hold on. Let me play one. I guess I'll play one of these videos where we can listen to the entire. We can break that one. We can break one of them down. Let's read Danielle. Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. I ain't even been really paying attention to the chat. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Keep leaving the comments, man. Danielle Adams says his position on celibacy irks me. Celibacy is for the woman. It's her body. Sex before marriage in the past got her to the baby mama status. It also has spiritual and emotional benefits. Okay. Ideally, the man would wait, but no one is forcing him to. Yeah. Ideally, but yeah. Born is not ideal. So I'm not waiting. I'm not. That's sex before marriage. I kind of feel like Kevin Samuels. Shit, I got kids and I've never been married. So I've already done sex before marriage and came to the conclusion that I'm probably going to have sex with the woman. I'm probably going to, I'm not no probably. I'm going to have sex with my wife before I marry her. Just being honest.
Yeah, you wouldn't pay for a car without test driving.
I'm going to live. I also believe in living, the shacking up. You know what I'm saying? No, some of my older and my Christian people and my traditional people would say shacking up. I definitely subscribe to shacking up. Number one, because I've done it before and it's really important to me. And I'm not going to marry nobody before I live with them. That's crazy to me.
Put it this way, with all the things a man stands to lose, if a divorce happens and a marriage goes south, it is good to kind of kick the tires and know what you're dealing with and get to know somebody. Now, I do have one question for you. What if legitly, right, you met a female and she straight up is a virgin? She's a younger woman. She's a virgin. She's not capping. And she really is into you. But she says, you know what? I want to try my best to wait until I'm married. And I do want to have kids with you. And I do want to be a good woman. And I want to cooperate and be with your program. It's just I'm a little bit religious. I'm willing to give you appetizers. I'm just not willing to give you the entree just yet because I want that to be special. What would you say about that?
Cool. I would say, okay, cool. Then the next day when I go to work, I'm going to be calling one of my old homegirls and seeing if I can pull up over there and, bam, and then go on back home to my virgin girlfriend. Because listen, man, I have male urges and like they're going to get handled. So I just know waiting 6 months for me is unreasonable for me. You see what I'm saying? And thank you, Stanley. I did read that, Stanley. When Robbie say I meet a virgin, I'm thinking, where would I even meet that virgin at? You see what I'm saying? A virgin at my age? Hell no.
So that's the thing. I'm describing a situation that actually happened to me when I was younger, like in my early 20s. But I'm just saying, believe it or not, though, let's just say hypothetically, you could be in your 40s and still meet somebody in their 20s that could be 24, you believe it or not. Because the reason why I say this, we got to realize, take Western culture out the equation. In some cultures, man, where they're Catholic or they're super religious, believe me, man, the women are more afraid of Jesus than they are of you. I'm not saying that's necessarily a healthy thing because I know that gets into some political stuff, but I'm just telling you straight up, and you wouldn't believe it. You'd be like, what? Vice versa. You know what I found out, and Stanley could relate to this in the military too. You could have women from other cultures, man, that are drop dead gorgeous, that are like a 10, and they're very humble. They're not nasty. They're not rude. And then in some of them cases, man, because of their religious beliefs or their cultural practices, they do put more importance on being married the right way. They actually want you to meet their father. You know what I'm trying to say? That type of stuff. Trust me, it's something that may be a little different sometimes for Western culture. And I'd say for Western culture, the way you're talking about doing it, Rich, yeah, I would have to do the same thing. I would have to shack up. I want to know how you are, not just when you're happy, but when you're mad. I want to know how you are when we got money, when we don't have money. I want to know if I can actually trust you and leave and go to work and you not bring another dude in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
all that
need to
type of
know.
shit.
Yeah, I need to know because if there's games going on, it can literally kill you and ruin your credit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, it's absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But I've done the shacking up thing before. I've done the sex before marriage thing before. So I don't know. I couldn't see myself doing it any other way.
But
Like
you
I
know,
said,
see, you seem to be a mentally healthy brother like me in that department. I think sometimes realistically, when I speak to some of the younger dudes in the manosphere, when I'm hearing them talk, they basically are saying they want a virgin because their ego makes them think any woman that has a baby or any woman that's ever had sex, is a slut. She's tainted goods. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
and it's
woman has to
crazy.
be from like Little House on the Prairie for them to get in the rich and not feel penis envy. For
And
me,
and some of the go ahead, Robbie. Go ahead, Robbie.
no,
Sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go.
No, I was just gonna say I think some of the younger brothers have the right to feel like that. They're young. They haven't experienced much. So when you're young, you tend to even older though. Oh, the thing is, I think you can really do it when you're young is because everybody's gonna have this picture or this illusion of what Mr. and Mrs. Right is. The perfect mate. The perfect mate is okay. Yeah, she's gonna probably look like this. Definitely be in college. Good, drive a nice car, good credit score, and that's preference. Not only preference though, it's just what
But
you
let me
drawn up
ask you
in your
this
mind.
question.
For
Let
the
me ask
young
you this.
brothers, go ahead.
Let me ask you this question because this is really what I'm alluding to. And sometimes in men's development, whether they're young men or older men, in the rare case or say in the instant that they have a woman cheat on them, right? For some men, that'll make them feel insecure and feel like, you know what? Maybe I don't measure up in the bedroom. Because for like, let's say they dated a chick for a year, 2 years, they were tearing it up, they were beating it up. They thought she was happy. They thought that they gave her enough money and attention and everything, and then boom, just like the plague. All of a sudden, she shifts gears and she changes. And believe me, I've listened to some of these manospheres. That'd be the biggest thing. They talk about, oh man, she cheat. She want to poke you in the ray, da 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 da. And for me, say in a divorce sense, say if your wife wants a divorce, just because y'all are not getting along together no more or whatever, and she leaves or you guys decide to leave, to a degree, if you're a man that took pride in a marriage, that could make you insecure, but in a different area. You may say, damn, no, do I measure up enough financially, or what could I do differently, or something like that. But as far as the sexual thing, I've never had that problem, but it seems like when I get to the root of the anger of some of these dudes, it leads right to sex, which is very odd to me for black men, because black men, typically speaking, man, we always brag about what we got down there, or at least confident with what we got. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who's bigger or smaller. You be like, nigga, I know I can handle my business. I'm confident in myself. And I think that comes from us coming from a generation where you either had older brothers, mentors, or somebody there telling you, like, hey man, you don't let them hoes break your heart. You know what I mean? You move
Yeah,
on. You know what I mean? But it
yeah,
seems like these dudes, bro, they be like, they be ready to act like Eminem. Tears all falling one
And
by
I
one.
don't know if all the young brothers like that, man, but I ain't gonna lie, I hear it in the music and everything, Robbie. For real, man. For real. I was hearing the young people tell me about NBA Youngboy, and the one album I put on my phone to listen to, he was talking about that girl. He was talking about a girl to the point, like Robbie's saying, he was on some shit in some of them songs like, I'll kill that dude over you, and I'll kill you too. It's like, oh shit. Yeah,
Hold up. Did he literally say that?
in words though. He was just like, I'm never letting you go, but he's rapping it. It's not all, it's just through the album. It was just little bars that I was hearing
Right.
was like,
Oh, I know. Yeah,
he's
he
like
means
going through a breakup and he will hurt that dude over her and he will hurt her. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. When I was a younger man, I'm pretty sure there's times that crossed my mind, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Say if you go through a really bad divorce or breakup, depending on the female that you're with and what you've invested in the relationship, it can make you angry to a degree if you act on the natural, because you may say, man, I invested a lot in this relationship and she's doing this to me. Like if your woman really knows you and she knows what to do to hurt your feelings, right? If you allow yourself to be hurt, that person can get under your skin and manipulate you. Those are the most dangerous, I think, relationships to be in. If you have low expectations for a woman, then it's not going to hurt you as bad. But if it's a woman, let's say that you had children with, she was the apple of your eye, whoa. And then all of a sudden she's letting you know, posting. I would say, well, Kim Kardashian is a bad example to use, but it's the best example I could use in terms of how Kanye's acting, right? Kanye, because he had children with her, he's getting all pissed, right, about the idea of her having sex with somebody else. But the whole thing of it is, that's different with his situation is, bro, she already showed you she was for the streets. So there's really it's like, you shouldn't be surprised. Now, if it was somebody that was the apple of your eye and you thought she was a decent, wholesome girl, and then y'all going through issues and she's being stupid, running on her emotions. And so there's a dude that's at her job that's just being hella disrespectful, like grabbing her ass on camera while y'all separated, letting you know he's beating it up and this and that and the third. I don't care who you are. It's going to make you hurt for a little bit, or you may get angry for a little second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, let's see. I found another video. I want to play this. See, was he too harsh, disrespectful? All of the things that I've been hearing today. Let's listen to it. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
All right, I'm coming back to you guys, iPad 2, whatever your name is. Unmute yourself. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so very nice to meet you. I am new to your channel.
Uh-oh.
So just kind of following along. So I've just
First off, let's start with this. What's your name?
My name's Susan.
Hi, Susan. How old are you?
I'm 30.
All right. What you got for me?
So I'm 30 and I have 2 kids. So I'm single. I have 2 kids from a previous relationship. So I was kind of trying to rate myself, but I am still very young, active. I have a lot to offer. I make great money. I have good, well-behaved children, and I am in LA dating, and I just find dating in LA so hard. So I actually don't have a problem meeting what you call high profile men, men.
You just got a problem getting a husband.
Yeah, but
yeah, because you got 2 kids.
So it's just the 2 kids thing.
No, it's not just. It's big. I mean, you're 30 years old and all this career stuff. But how many different fathers?
1.
Okay. How come you and he didn't get married?
I was so young when I was in that relationship. So I met him when
How
I
old
was
is your oldest
young.
child?
10.
How old is your youngest?
7.
So you were 23. That's
when
not
I
young.
had my daughter, yeah. So my kid's father, he was older than me.
But listen to what I'm about to say. You were younger. You were old enough to make babies.
Yeah.
First one at 20, even though I'm not okay with it, you can let it slide. But the second one, man, that's a choice. Why didn't you?
No, we were in the I was with him for 6 or 7 years.
But you weren't his wife, and that's a difference.
Yeah.
So if you let me explain it to you, I'll try. You're a woman that was with a man for 6 or 7 years, and you gave him the highest honor a woman can give any man on the planet. You gave him children. You gave him not only one, you gave him two. And yet you did not require him to even bestow the title of a wife upon you. So you go back out into the market, older, with 2 children. You expect someone in that market to accept you older and bestow the title of wife upon you?
Talk to me, Robbie. Has he said anything that you disagree with yet?
I haven't heard anything that I disagree with, because I know if I talk to other men privately, that's what they're going to say.
Yep. This is boring. Play it. I'm gonna play it. I gotta still Tash. Yeah, I mean, rest in peace to the brother. I am Tash, but rest in peace to the brother. But I don't know. They could still strike. When the brother was alive, he would strike the shit out of this channel. So we don't know. I don't know if somebody working this. I just thought I still don't want it to get the channel strike. So let me try to pause it a little bit in between the Tash. But we're gonna definitely. I'm gonna rewind it. Rewind it 5 seconds, and here we go.
And bestow the title of wife upon you? That's how men look at it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And then being in LA, one of the most competitive markets for women in the world. Competition is stiff out there. I'll be there in a couple of weeks. Beautiful woman on every corner.
Say, so I do meet great men. I don't think it's hard finding a man to
okay, man.
be committed to.
Oh, no. See, this is how we judge over here. We don't judge by dealing with, dating. We judge in weddings. That's the only thing that counts. If you're not married, you're losing. See, that makes it real clear, because you've had everything up to that point anyway, right?
I've been engaged.
Right. I don't count those either, because women, especially a lot of Black women, have been engaged for a long time, 3, 4, 5 engagements. See, when you make it real clear, there's a high value man, or whatever term you're using, has any one of them married you? And the answer is no. And that's what I say. The dating market is difficult because you're not an unattractive woman. Sure, a guy will take you out for a nice date. You really want to know what we think? How tall are you?
I'm 5'6". I weigh 115 pounds.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'll take you out. Oh hell yeah, I would take you out.
So I don't have a problem finding men.
Of course not. I would. But the thing is, what are you finding them for though? Yeah, I would take you out, get you a nice steak and some lobster. We'd have a good old time, and I would blow your back out, but I wouldn't marry you.
See, what I think I really have an issue is finding men that don't want the superficial. I feel like the type of guys they just want a woman that looks good on their arm.
Yes.
So when you say,
oh no, listen, let me stop right there. Yes, that's what we want, because that's who we are. And you want a man.
That's the problem I have with dating.
But listen. You want men not to be men. You want men to think like women. That's not what we value, ma'am. We want a beautiful woman on our arm.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, no, you're the problem.
I'm the problem.
Yes, you're the problem because I'm telling you what men want. You've experienced what men want and you've got a problem with it. That's your problem. We're not going to change. You're either going to get on board with it or you will die alone.
So what should I be looking for then?
Well, honestly, first you need to get down and understand that you have no leverage. You have no leverage in this matter. It's the men. We control access to relationships. You control access to sex. You need to understand what a man that you would want, what he would want in a girlfriend, wife, or significant other.
What y'all saying? Y'all talk to me. Talk to me. What are y'all saying? Robbie made the point earlier. Good point. Damn good
I
point.
think he wasn't disrespectful at all.
Great point the brother makes. Men control the access to relationships and marriage. The women control the access to the sex. Oh, that's so fucking dope. That's the quote I like because that's so true. That's so true. It's just true. Men are not going to have sex if the women don't want to have sex. Women are not going to get married or be married if men don't want to be married. If men don't want to be in a relationship, then it's no relationship. Rest in peace to the brother, man. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, man.
You know, all his death just has highlighted to me, bro, is you better live your best life every day. That doesn't mean you have to be reckless, but you better live your best life.
Like a good mother.
No,
wife.
no. That changes from every man. That changes from man to man. Where's your father?
Oh, I didn't grow up with a mother or a father.
All right. So, due respect, you don't seem to get that men judge the way we judge. And yes, like I said, you have no problem getting men to pay you attention. You've got no problem attracting men, but getting a man to take you seriously. And would you like to be married?
I would.
Okay, and that's a problem because you're asking a man to become a stepfather. You're asking, let's say you're asking me to come in and take care of one man's child, a man's two children. I didn't create those. It's all downside. I've been a stepfather. It's a horrible deal.
What about the men that have children of their own? They want a stepmother.
Well, again, you still act as though
most men at this age.
Okay, listen. I'll answer it. See, you're still speaking as if you have leverage in this thing. And I'm trying to level set you. Even if I have children, I got more options than you. I can go find a woman with no kids because I can afford both of you. If I can afford to take care of you and your kids, I can afford to take care of her and no kids.
Yeah.
Why would I pick you and your kids when I know your kids are not going to, I'm not their father. They'll never look at me as their father. I got all the responsibility and none of the upside of being a biological father. Can I discipline those children like they were my own?
They don't need discipline. They're very
see, that's your problem. There you go, right there. She said they don't
really
need discipline.
Don't.
Okay, this is why. You're in freaking sane if you don't think your kids are not special. They need discipline just like anyone else. Maybe you don't. Okay.
Boy, boy, Robbie. It's a conversation to be had there, Robbie, but people don't want to have that conversation.
This is the thing. Do you hear Kevin Samuels calling anybody the B word? I never see him using profanity. He just speaks truth, man, and they don't want to hear it.
I didn't hear that. I think some people in the chat earlier said disrespectful, condescending. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. It's a great conversation. Great conversation. Great conversation about the stepdaddy, the stepfathers and discipline, and stepmothers and discipline. Oh, it gets
Hey, hey,
spooky. What up? What up, Black Peace? What up, brother?
what up, G? You all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you got to say? What's on your mind?
Yeah, just check this out for anybody who, for any of the little people who saying the man talk harsh or whatever the case may be. They mama talk way worse than them than they ever done heard this man done say it before.
That's what I
On this
said.
damn podcast, motherfucking mama be calling them bitches hoes. Yeah, any other name you can think of, nasty hoe, nasty bitch, all that shit, and then they get on the internet and get offended. Nigga, please. Like, nigga, let's leave with that, man. Niggas be killing me want to play sensitive on the internet, but be at home with this shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Especially niggas, man. Niggas got to get over that shit, man. Niggas.
Man, that's what I said. I said I come from the.
Go ahead.
I was saying, hold on. So I was saying that I come from the era of just bluntness and no filter, where people just tell you what's on their mind, how they feel, and what he think his truth is.
That's what. My grandmama all the way.
Yeah, for real. Like, they would tell you straight up, man. My grandmama would tell you straight up, man. If my cousin was getting fat, my grandmama would say, "Girl, you getting fat." Yeah. It wasn't no.
To God, man. You ain't lying,
it wasn't no. Hey, I think maybe you could lose a little weight or maybe go to the gym. No, girl, damn, girl, you getting fat.
You know what it is, and you can hear it in that lady's voice. They interpret someone telling you the truth how it is, especially how men think. They think that, oh man, you're being a hater and a dream crusher. It's my dream to live like such and such celebrity or such and such boss chick. And I feel like because I'm pretty, hey, I'm prettier than that 20-year-old. I'm prettier than this other broad. But like he said, man, let's think about it. If you got men that you had children with that don't want to man up and take care of their own responsibility, what makes you think a man that doesn't have children at all will want to just take on that responsibility? You got to bring something to the table. Now, I'm not saying you can't be an amazing person, he wouldn't choose you, but it's like she just makes it seem like to even bring up that as a possibility that could be a negative, she was insulted by it. It doesn't mean that your kids are bad and your kids aren't worth it. It's like there's a lot of people running from responsibility on both sides.
Yeah, because I know I damn sure wouldn't take care of nobody else's kid. I don't give a fuck what the situation is. I just wouldn't do it. I don't give a fuck how good nobody look.
I can say this. I've been in.
I know what.
Well, let me say this, Black Peace. I've been in a stepfather position before. Still kind of play that role, but not like I used to, right? Because I used to live with them. You know what I'm saying? Well, we live together, so I know it's a lot of shit. It gets uncomfortable a lot for the man, dude. I was uncomfortable at certain point, like some small like. I'm not even gonna state like, don't leave your daughter here with me. You see what I'm saying? I don't even want to even be in that position. I don't even want to have nothing like you said. My mind went there. Like, oh, hey baby, I'm finna go to the store. I'll be right back. I'll be like, hold on, baby. Hold on. Either I'll go to the store for you, or please take your daughter with you. Like that's just something I stand on. I stand on that. So that's something uncomfortable that when I'm with my daughter, it's never uncomfortable like that. So that's something. And then the brothers, they're gonna get into the discipline part. The discipline part was real tricky, boy. The discipline part was real tricky, man. When you're dealing with step kids and you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. It is a slippery slope, though, man. It is a slippery slope. For real. But let me play a little bit more of this, fam. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button out there, man. Hit that like button. And I do want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for the people that's tuned in right now. Thank y'all for real. I took like a 2-week hiatus, but I'm seeing some people show up and participate, man. So, you know, I'll be back. I'll be back around, guys.
Now this is the problem. They don't need discipline. So the answer is, could I discipline the child?
Yeah.
Okay, without you questioning me.
Yeah. If I choose you as my partner, like have complete trust in you.
Okay,
and, like,
so I could spank the children.
They don't need spanked.
No. I could spank the see right there. I said I could discipline children. You said yes.
Spanking. Oh,
Pay
Lord.
attention, woman.
I am.
You said I could discipline the children without you questioning me. Yes. So if I decide to spank them, I got to listen to your mouth because they don't need it. That's why you need to stay single until your kids are gone. That's the choice you made when you reproduced, ma'am. And I need you ladies to understand something. You going out here having babies without marriage and then breaking up with men, you incurred consequences. We don't want those kids around us because we cannot take care of them, cannot discipline them. We don't want to have to put up with all this other stuff. You're a fun woman. Guys look at you and be like, she's got 2 kids and she's 5'6", 115. She's a lot of fun. She's obviously sexually active. I'll have a good time with you, but no way, not no way, but very unlikely that I'm going to take you seriously, especially when you start talking. Because I believe what you're telling me is honestly, and I'm like, who wants this deal?
Who doesn't want this deal? A beautiful woman that is a great mother, has a great career.
Okay.
I'm
don't care about your career.
Strong, like I'm submissive.
No, but listen, did you hear what I just said? Did you just okay? Did you hear what I just said? Don't care about your career.
Yeah.
The thing is, ma'am, it's the 2 kids. That's the 2 kids. Everything you're saying does not overcome the deficit that 2 children bring.
If you have money, that doesn't matter to you.
If you have what?
I said you have money. That doesn't matter to you financially.
I have more.
You have what?
I have more.
More
money. I have more money than you. I have more money than I have more money, and I can go over there and get her. And she's 25. She has no kids, and I don't have to I don't have to deal with any of the stuff we just talked about. She's 25, agreeable, cooperative, fit, and ready to get on my program. Have butt naked, freaky circus sex. And she's happy to be there and experience all these new things. I'm dealing with a 30-year-old woman who's got her mind. Listen, okay. See, when this conversation is over, I go back to my wonderful life. You go back to your life, still trying to figure these things out, and I'm just trying to help you, lady. I'm not saying you're not everything you're saying you are.
Settle down for the next 8 years, basically.
But you're not okay. And who is actively pursuing you to be their wife?
I mean, I got options.
Who is actively pursuing you to be their wife?
I got options. I don't really
Ma'am,
like
you did no, that would be a fiance. See, this is where the truth comes in. You can either, ma'am, you don't have these kind of options. And I'm trying to explain. Okay, then you wouldn't be here. If you actually had options of the kind and caliber of man that you want, then they were really considering you to be their wife, you wouldn't be here right now.
I know. I'm just kind of learning about. I mean, I'm new here, so this is literally my first time really watching.
But the thing is, ma'am, you're still you're a baby mama of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And are you telling me you're dating someone seriously?
Oh, I always have options.
I'm going to ask you one more time, and if you are vague, I'm going to bid you a good night. Just asking you, are you dating someone seriously?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been seeing one another?
It's been 2 years.
2 years. Has he expressed any desire to make you his wife?
Yes.
Has he taken you ring shopping in the last 2 years?
We've been ring shopping, yeah.
When?
About 3 months ago.
3 months ago.
But this ain't the guy that really just sparks I don't know. It just doesn't feel like someone I want to be with forever. So that's
so I go back to the first thing I asked you. Are you telling me you are seeing someone and the man who's actively considering you is the man you want to be with? And you said, I've got options. And you just went through this convoluted way of getting back down to, I got
It's
somebody
hard
in
to
there.
explain my love life.
Well, no, ma'am. What it is it's hard for you to deal with the truth. What it is one, you don't have a man that you want considering you to be his wife. You got a man that you don't want who sounds like he would take you, but you don't want to marry him. That's why it's been 2 years. This is why you're on here trying to figure it out. And I'm only trying to help you, but it seems like you'd rather argue or be right than listen.
No, I'm not trying to argue.
Okay, well then I need you to understand that your children are a massive impediment. How about this? Would you like to have additional children?
I would.
How many?
Oh, maybe 2, 1 to 2.
So let's say you and I were to get married, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What you automatically set up is you get pregnant on our wedding night and you give birth to Kevin Jr. Then a year after that, you give birth to Kim. Kevin and Kim are my biological children with you, right?
Okay.
Then I still have to take care of your 2 other children, right?
So we have 4.
4 kids in the house.
Yeah.
Kevin and Kim are mine. Mm-hmm. If I decide to spank Kevin, you can't say shit to me because he's mine biologically. You can't tell me, listen, okay, you're going to sit there and zip your mouth and let me get through the example before you say something. Can you do that? Give me a minute. Kevin and Kim are mine. They're my financial responsibility, and you cannot pull the mommy card on me because biologically you can't one up me. You can't play the high joker. You can't say those aren't, but when it comes to your children, they're your children. I've got to discipline them in line with what you think is right. So I got 2 sets of kids in the house under 2 sets of rules. That's madness. I've seen it. Men don't want that, man. Can you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with having children already. Because you would have 2 kids by me, 2 kids over here. But yet, if they want to go to college, I'm still supposed to pay for it. If your children want to go to college, I got to put a roof over their head, food in their bellies, and provide for them just like I was providing for Kevin and Kim. Except Kevin and Kim, let's say you and I divorced. Kevin and Kim are mine. I still got visitation. Do I necessarily have anything with those kids? If you decide not to let me see my stepkids, you could cut that bond. You ladies never think of it from a man's side. It's all what you want. And like you said, you want a man to not be into all this superficial stuff and which means you really don't give a damn what we think. We're just supposed to come in and do what you need. That's fine, but you better be offering a hell of a deal. And I'd have to hear that.
Only because of the kids?
Well, the kids are big, ma'am. They are big. I mean, and here's the thing. You do have the option because you say only cause of the kids, but that's a big deal.
Would you date so you dating a woman with children is like off the table for you?
I married a woman with a child, ma'am. I understand what I'm talking about. I'm not just doing. No, I would not date a woman with a child. No, I would not.
Gotcha.
I've been there. And the thing is, where's the children's father?
Oh, I left him.
Where is he alive?
Yeah.
Is he involved in the children's life at all?
Yeah.
Then if you really are serious, give custody to the father. Go off with your new husband and make a new family. See?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Well, then guess what? Buy a dog and wait till they're out of the house, man, because I've talked about women like you all the time. You're not willing to give anything up. I asked you about discipline. They don't need this. They don't need that. Give up custody. Can't do that. Ma'am, you're not fit. I mean, no disrespect, ma'am, but you're not really fit to be with somebody. You want someone to fit into your particular jagged life. And why would a man who has options choose that? Just because you're attractive? I mean, you're attractive, but in LA, that's a dime a dozen. I mean, you'd have to understand that, though.
I do know that, but I think I'm more valuable than just the way I look.
What?
I said I'm definitely more valuable than just my looks.
Granted. I'm never saying that you're not.
Like, I'm from the Midwest. I'm a good Midwestern girl. I'm not a LA girl, so I'm not.
I'm from Oklahoma, ma'am. I'm from the Midwest too. But what I'm saying is, okay, let's try it this way.
I know. I hear you.
What would the kind of man that you want? What would he want from a woman? From a wife?
From a wife?
Mm-hmm.
He would. I think what I value, like, just at the end of the day, is just like pure connection. Like, do I like love? It's just love. There's nothing else. Like, do I want this person? Do I look up to this person? Do I feel like this person is a good person? Do we share the same values? Is, the same morals? Like, is there laughter, joy, excitement in our relationship?
What does he want from a wife, ma'am? And you gave me.
Oh, what does he want from, like, just a wife? Like, maybe just a good housewife, a woman that cooks for him.
Okay, ma'am. So let me ask you a question. Were your mother and father married?
No.
All right. Then you were not raised to be a housewife.
No, I don't think I was. Definitely was not raised to be no housewife. That's for sure. But
listen,
I can't give up on that hope and that dream that I'll find the right person.
If I'm gonna slap the smack out of you. I'll let you go, man. But you cannot overtalk me. I try to be nice, man, but you're not gonna do that. Look, you weren't raised to be a housewife. And you just said the kind of man that you would want, what he would want is a good housewife. Then he wouldn't want you because you're not one. By your own admission, you're not one.
I wasn't raised to be one.
Which means you're not one.
But I had great influences.
Then if you had such great influences, why someone met? What you just witnessed was pretty privilege. She's used to getting by on her above average looks, but she's got below average outcomes. And no matter how I tried to talk to her, she's going to sit there and stamp her feet because she was going to get her way. I'm not trying.
Yep. Well, that was Kevin in a nutshell.
Bro, there were so many times when he was talking, I wanted to interject, but the key thing that I kept noticing. No, I'm glad we left it like that because here's the key thing. She kept saying that she has options. So why is it okay for her to have options and not a man to have standards?
Yeah. I hear you, brother. I can't answer that question, man. I can't answer that.
Yeah. That's pretty much right now in 2022. That's not every woman, but that's almost every woman. Right there.
Because they listen to that Beyonce song. I can have another you in a minute. In fact, he's gonna be right here in a minute. I'm like, yeah, and then he's gonna put it on Pornhub. You stupid. Yeah, okay.
Especially if that's the average. That's how most of them, not all of them, but most, especially in 2022, that's how they think.
Hey, look, I got a question to ask you, bros, because maybe nobody wants to disclose this, but for anybody that has ever looked at porn in their lifetime, especially in the last 3 or 4 years, have you ever noticed, even if you looked at it casually, in terms of titles, how many people take cell phone video and be recording chicks and calling them thoughts and bees and all this? And these be the chicks that chicks be cheating with or wasting their time with, and they don't even realize they're being recorded. Or sometimes they do know they're being recorded. And I'm like, damn, he did her way dirty.
Now it ain't even a secret no more. With the little clout shit that motherfuckers be talking about. Motherfuckers do shit on purpose now. They'll announce it. Hey, we're gonna put out a recording tomorrow. at 3 o'clock, everybody come to my page. Yeah, let them do a world
What
premiere of that shit.
in that woman's mind would make her think I would look? We all know that every woman has had sex, right? But there's a reason why we do things in the bedroom. If I have to look at a tape that reminds me of what you did with another dude, and especially if he just like did you super dirty, like super violated you with pee and urine and all this, I'm sorry, man. You are like forever for the streets at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt about that, nigga. Hey, but yeah, hey man, cuz at the end of the day, what cuz was trying to tell them is just realize who the fuck you are. A lot of them don't know who the fuck they are. That's why they on there confused and think they got all these so-called options and shit, man. You know, you notice like like if you notice in your regular everyday life, the so-called baddest bitches ain't got nobody, man. Ain't got nobody. They got kids though, but
Because
they
you
ain't got
summed
nobody.
it up with clout. What is clout? Clout is attention. So that's why when she said she has options, she's saying, "Look, I got people who can give me dick and attention." But like Kevin said, that don't mean they gonna marry you though, or take care of your kids.
Exactly. See, yeah, that's what a lot of them get confused. They get it confused by how many motherfuckers slobbing in the mouth over 'em. But that shit don't mean nothing. Anything that somebody think look good visually, they gonna go to it. They gonna approach it. I mean that's just what happened with visuals. But after that shot go away, that's nothing no more. That's over with. After you get through going in and coming out, that's nothing no more. It's like whatever, that ain't shit. So you're not gonna keep her.
And,
You
and,
know
and
what I
at the
mean?
end of the day, truthfully, like how like there's some women that have been given dating advice. It's about not allowing yourself to be manipulated by a woman.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
I
that
was
shit.
just. No, go ahead, Black P. What was you saying?
No. I was just gonna say, yeah, man. It's just, it ain't even really that hard, man, for a lot of people to figure this shit out. It's really quite simple, man. Especially after you listen to him. Before even listening to him, but just listening to him, he make it simple because it is. It's simple as hell, man. Motherfuckers need to. It's like when you going out to buy you a whip, man. You got to know your goddamn price range, man. You need to stay in that motherfucker too. You know, that's
That's
just
what
it.
I said. That's what I said, man. Yeah, his
You know me,
content
I know.
showed. His content showed the delusion. The
Yeah,
delusion. People are delusional, man. That's just it. People
you
are.
gotta stay
Gotta have
within your little
realistic goals, man. Realistic expectations. If you're gonna have any expectations, make sure they're realistic. For real.
yeah. I mean, you gotta, yeah, like you said, man, motherfuckers gotta get with the picture, man. All this fairy tale shit,
We
that
all
shit
want
ain't.
Mrs. Right. We all want Mrs. and Mr. Right. We want the perfect. Everybody wants that. That shit is a fairy tale.
You never find a motherfucker like that, man. I know. I ain't never thought I was gonna even find that, but you know, I got somebody I can work with. You know what I'm saying? That was my plan. That's what happened. That's why my shit was running smooth as it run now because of her. She run all my shit. So, but yeah, that's what you gotta, motherfucker gotta know that, man. But motherfucker don't, people want to stay delusional though, man. Everybody want to live fairy tale life. Play these little games and all, all this shit.
Yeah, man. Let's play another one, man. Play another one, man. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, man. Play another one.
Married at 20.
Okay.
My parents was against it and my grandparents. I am now 31 and I'm getting ready to go through a divorce.
What's the disagreement, though?
So they said that we was too young and I went to college. I got a degree. I just feel like I didn't have much experience. I was in love with my husband when we got married, but now I don't like him.
What's the disagreement, though?
The disagreement, I think we just grew apart.
Okay.
So, but
I
you
don't
saying that
understand. Okay. I don't understand the point I make that you disagreed with.
Oh, that, all the 8s and 9s and 10s are married at an early age.
Okay. Okay. Nothing is absolute. Ladies, we got to stop this. Nothing is absolute. These are generalizations.
That's true, Kevin.
But are you saying you're an 8, 9, or a 10?
I would consider myself a 10. I was a track star, leader of the volleyball. So you can kind of say I was the it girl in school. But
where's your picture?
What?
Where's your picture?
Oh, I didn't want to show my picture. That's obvious.
I find it okay. So here's the thing. What I don't do often is women can. I've had women call themselves 10s who were 5s. So
opinion is relevant.
No. See, look. You can call yourself.
Kevin, I like you.
Okay,
but Kevin a lot.
Hold on, but if you like me, then understand. Don't look. If you can call yourself a 10, that's fine. I don't understand the disagreement. I really don't. You call yourself a 10, that's fine. You're 31 and getting a divorce because you don't like him.
Yeah, I fell out of love with him. I think we just went to different ways.
Do you have any children?
No, thank God.
Well, and you've been with him since how old?
Since I was 18, but we got married at 20.
All right. And what do you think's waiting for you out here?
New possibilities.
That's one way to frame it.
We can probably be the best of friends. I just think we outgrew each other.
That's fine. That's fine.
He's ready for kids. I'm not ready for kids.
All right. So I don't really see it's a disagreement here. You want to divorce your husband because he wants kids and you don't want kids, that's fine. But for somebody who's been married for nearly half your life, what do you want from a man in this world?
Well, a man of character, integrity, someone that I can grow with.
What do you want from a man in this world?
Love.
You have
I want love. I want companion. You had that. But you make it seem like people can't outgrow each other.
Well, no, ma'am. Stop right there. Stop right there. I didn't make it seem like a damn thing. I said you had that. And it's your responsibility as a wife to keep it going.
And it's also a husband too.
It is, see, that, thank you. Do you guys hear this? This is the problem that tends to happen in our relationships. It's 50-50 instead of 100. Did you do your 100% best to make sure that your marriage and your relationship lasted?
Yes, my husband wanted me to stay home. I figured since I went to school, I worked hard for my degree and my career. Why should I have to give it up? Especially when I don't have any kids.
Okay. So your husband wanted you to stay home and you wanted to go to work.
Yes. My father raised me to
hold on, listen. Then you're giving up a husband for possibilities in the world in your career. Okay. Hope you get what you want.
My daddy told me I'd be just fine. My father said that a woman.
Well, here's the thing. How old is your father?
My father is 60.
Right. And got news for you. Your dad cannot guarantee that. That's nothing a father can guarantee a child.
Well,
and I'll be honest with you. You can say your dad can tell you whatever, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're just a woman, just like I'm just a man. You're one person out on the planet, and if you want to deal with any man out here, you're gonna have to meet his needs, especially if you want a man that's higher level than you are. This independent street, this daddy's girl shit ain't gonna play.
Well, Kevin, I'm a nurse.
Congratulations. That matters.
I work with a lot of doctors. Actually.
So what?
But you say that a man don't care about a woman's money or career.
No, we don't.
And that's far from the truth, though.
Okay.
But that's far from the truth.
All right. So you're telling me, all right, ladies, I want you to pay attention. This woman has been married. And she's telling me, as a man who's out here who have clients of these men. You act like you at 31 know better than me at 51. And I'm telling you, men don't care like you think we care. But guess what? You're going to get a chance to test this out on your own. Remember the women I said high value men tend to avoid? And the nurse was in this category. It's not for just to take shots at nurses. It's the personality and the mindset that tends to come along. This independent da 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 da. All right, but in the end, man, make your choices. But at the end, if you want something with a man, you're going to have to compromise.
Oh, I agree with you, but you making it seem like that.
I didn't make it seem like anything.
Bad.
Make it seem like what?
You're just making it seem like, oh, you're so bad, you know, like, especially for the, you know, women in my age group that's not married, you know,
man,
there's hope. There's hope.
Okay. You're responsible for what you hear.
And you're responsible for what you put out.
No, you're responsible for what you hear. And you make it seem like women are so, no, I think that a lot of you women just don't listen. You listen with your feelings and you hear what you want to hear. And that's fine. But you're going to get to test all your theories. You got married at 18 or 19.
No, I got married at 20.
Okay. Split the difference. You're going to get to test all these theories. In 10 years, we'll see who ends up being closer to accurate. But if you want anything from men, do you ever want children?
I don't know.
All right. So do you even want to be married to a man?
Of course I do. I believe in love. I believe in marriage.
But that's not the purpose of marriage. Love is not the purpose of marriage. And you already had that.
Partnership.
All right. Round and round this goes. Spoiled, petulant children. Just, I want love. I want this. I want that. Women from other countries listen to Western women and think you're insane. This woman won early on and is walking away. All right.
Yep, so there you have it, man. Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels playing to the crowd. Good. He was definitely a content creator, man. Rest in peace to that brother. Like I said earlier, had good discussions. He was the start of great discussions online and offline. So rest in peace to that brother, man. Rest in peace to that brother. Oh, shit. Well, Robbie, I'm finna get out of here, brother. Yeah, man.
Oh, take it easy. Hey, Rich, Vaughn. Look, man, I was helping to bring in some groceries in the house, so I apologize.
No,
but
you
I was
good.
listening to everybody. And you know what, man? This Kevin Samuels is so powerful. I think he's going to help a lot of channels grow with his content. And I think you should do a part 2 to this.
Yeah, I'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see what YouTube is doing. We'll see.
Even if we ain't using his clips, because believe me, he made such an impact. You mention his name, people know.
Yeah. So yeah, man. We'll
hey, God bless you. Happy Mother's Day to your moms and to your peoples, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother Robbie, for jumping on. Everybody in the chat, thank y'all for real, man. Rest in peace, brother Kevin Samuels, man. You know what I mean? He did what he did. And one more time, I thank y'all in the chat, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. For real. I gotta cut out though. It's been 2 hours, 30 minutes. That was a good show. Shout out to the people who was hitting me behind the scenes, like, Born, are you okay? What's going on? Are you going live again? So I'll crank them back up, man. I'll crank the lives back up. And thank y'all. Peace to everybody. Peace to all y'all, man. My Discord family, hit me up on Discord, man. What are y'all doing, man? It's quiet over there, man. Y'all been quiet, so y'all make sure y'all fuck with me. And yeah, family, I don't know. Y'all just keep the notifications on. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Put the notifications on so you'll know when I go live, man. I don't know when I'm gonna go live, but I'll do another one. Let's get it. If nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the first one to say that I love you. I love you. I love you, family. Peace out.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.